Welcome to NFT.NYC.
2025.
It is. I'm empty my pockets. That's what I do. Hello, NFT.NYC community.
Hello.
I'm going to bring up some wonderful people. I see you right there. Just a moment. We'll bring you up. Hi, honey.
Hello.
Welcome back to New York.
Yes, I'm so happy that I'm here again with the family.
I know. This year is family year.
Exactly.
It's you, me, and our three boys. And I'll rotate a bunch of our friends and speakers and sponsors in today.
Yeah.
Internet, let us know if you can hear us. This is the mic. Testing mic number 1.
Testing mic number 2.
And we got a nice media team with us. We got friends. We're giving away merch for our product company, Attention Live, our education company, Web3AI. We got a NFT project called Crisis King with us. There's also a meme project on base. We've got another NFT project we launched, Kiki, which is a meme project on Solana. We got some old school Brander stickers from 10 years ago. And we are giving tokens away for a drawing contest. We got stickers. We even brought snap clips with us.
Yes.
I think we sold 50,000 snap clips in Best Buy. So we got all kinds of fun things. We're mostly going to give all the stuff away at the end of the day. So if you're watching and you're in New York, Brooklyn, New Jersey, Queens, you're somewhere within driving distance, get over here and come get some free stuff. We're going to give stuff away. We got tables full of merch and fun things we'll be giving away at the end of the
I
day.
thought you said we have tables to give away.
They're very house tables. We can't give the tables away. Yesterday, you did a keynote, which was incredible. It was about being a parent, using AI to help a child take doodles and turn them into beautiful pieces of art, co-create with AI, and then being able to create NFTs against it. What was your experience like speaking on the main stage yesterday? You were one of the final speakers. Everybody gave you such great feedback. So tell everybody what it's like to be able to speak here at NFT.NYC.
Well, I'm honored. I'm honored to be one of the keynote speakers here at NFT.NYC again for the second time. I'm representing, of course, my country, Philippines. I'm not pretty sure if there are some Filipino speakers today here at NFT.NYC, but to all Filipinos out there, mabuhay. So I'm here. And of course, my talk yesterday was about family collaborations through NFTs and AI, inspiring other families to, collaborate with their children. Of course, as parents, you can help your children to turn their doodles into a masterpiece.
Yes.
And to tell I also was able to tell inspire other families that creating digital art or helping their children to create their digital art, it's not just sitting in their iPads. You can also let them learn and be educated that their digital art is very important.
Right.
And they can monetize that at their very young age. They can earn money from it.
Yeah. Well, we have one of our new friends coming up. Let me grab the mic off of your collar, my love, so he can be mic'd on all the glorious cameras. Come close so I can touch you, because you know how much I love that. Any chance to touch you.
Okay.
Uh-oh. It fell down. Why don't you grab him and I'll have him come over and say hello, and I'll have you come back when he's done. Come take a seat with me. Please. We can lower the seat, honey. And I'll lower mine. So we're the same height. How about that?
Yeah.
There you go.
Come on in.
Okay, perfect. Here we go. Woo, yeah.
You get comfortable. There's no rush. Honey, will you please clip this on his collar thing? Right there, yeah. Welcome. This is your mic.
Oh, it's my mic.
This is your mic for one of them. We got many cameras on us. Is that okay?
Yeah. That's what.
We're just going to talk together. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
So I learned a bit about you just from the social media posting.
Right.
So why don't you introduce yourself to me? I'd love to hear about what you're doing. You have a Downs and Towns shirt on, art, adventure, and advocacy. So first, tell us your name.
Like this. That one, not real.
Okay, I got it. I got you. I got you covered. And Houston, you're based out of Knoxville, Tennessee. And so tell me a bit about Downs and Towns.
And we got doing. We got doing that.
And then you came here to speak. How's your experience been here at NFT.NYC?
I have it all the time. So, I have it all the time. I can my baby is. Yes. My baby is not here. Yep, it's me. So, I can my baby is doing. So,
And then I got to meet your mom is with you. Is that right?
it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, well, she seemed very nice. She seems like your biggest fan, and like you guys are having a great time together.
So yeah, you know where I here and corner not got brand be her body going in art. Art being that maybe her brand for the year of art maybe art gallery body got photo got to her maybe herself. But moment got when I get moment got red dress with her. So yeah, it's her and that.
Mom, do the gun hand to me.
And then tell me a bit about. Do you do art yourself? Are you an artist?
Yes, and I don't. Yeah.
And then when it comes to advocacy, it's definitely wonderful to have you here. I don't know if we've had other speakers
I know.
with Down syndrome up to this point,
Yes.
so it's wonderful to have you with us. Do you want to introduce us to your mom? Mom, do you want to come over and say hi? Hi there.
You good? You got food in the mouth.
That's all right. That's all right. So tell us a bit about your experience being here together.
Well, this is our third year.
And did you speak the last 2 years also?
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I never did.
Okay. Because I just found out about you being here on the social media post, and I thought I want to introduce you to NFT the movie and have you interviewed with them yet? Good, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, they have a great team, so I'm glad you can be a part of that.
Yeah,
So,
it's really exciting to be able to share our story.
Of course.
With the NFT community, because the NFT community is just really love on us.
Yeah, they been up. Yeah.
so tell us a bit about your story. We're live streaming to all the NFT NYC channels right now.
Okay. We're Katie and Houston Vandergrift,
Right.
and Downs to Towns is our Twitter
Ma'am,
handle.
need to be. I got
X
you
handle,
dessert.
sorry.
I got dessert.
You got the t-shirt?
I got dessert. Yeah.
And he's a travel photographer.
Okay.
He does photography.
So that's your art is photography?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful.
And he's basically had a camera in his hand his entire life.
Yeah.
And we have used his photography as a means of trying to help break down stereotypes that are outdated,
Yes.
trying to break down barriers. And the NFT community, like I said, is just really embraced it over.
I'm glad to hear that.
We actually did an expose thread almost 4 years ago now, I guess.
I got.
Mom, you find me for
Space, I got
Yep,
space,
4
yeah.
years, yeah.
Yeah.
And people started reaching out saying, you need to get into NFTs.
Oh,
get
that's
a
wonderful.
And so we're like, great, but what's an NFT?
Right. And then they told you it's a non-fungible token. You're like, it's a not something? Okay.
No, you're about
We
to
had a
touch
mentor
that.
that actually kind
Dude.
of took us under his wing.
You guys
Yeah.
playing around.
We don't know him. We don't know his name. We don't
Still?
know where he is.
Yeah, David still.
But he would send us emails regularly, like daily, and
Yeah.
say, "This is a ledger. This is a,
Oh, that's
you know,
nice
this
of him.
is how you set up Coinbase. This is how you do this whole process."
Yeah.
We connected early on with Sloika,
Okay.
and Houston's first one-of-one collection was released through Sloika,
That's awesome.
and we were part of an artist community called the Artists United. That was 20 artists from I think 24 countries maybe.
Wow.
And we've just made a lot of friends in this journey,
Yeah.
and everyone's been willing to help. And it's been a lot of fun.
That's
Yes,
awesome.
ma'am.
And how do people follow you? It's Downs and Towns on X, so is that
On everything.
one word, DOWNS, TOWNS.
And in the middle.
And it's A and B.
A and B,
So
yes.
Downs and Towns.
Yep.
And that's everywhere on all the social platforms.
All the social platforms.
If there's one thing you want people to take away from our conversation, whether they're watching live, thanks for your attention, or they see this tomorrow or next week or next year, what's a takeaway? Like, how can people get involved in downtown? Is it a nonprofit they can donate to? Is it that Houston's selling photography as an NFT and they could support you by buying a photograph? Or what's a way that people can support the mission?
We actually use the NFTs to give back a lot. We've been able to help build an accessible bathroom in Guatemala with the proceeds from NFTs. We've funded several collections that have been 100% donated to Down syndrome support organizations around the world. And so that part is nice. We've had fun with that. But I think our real takeaway is that it's not just Houston. There are 1 in 4 or 1 in 5 people have a disability, and the disability unemployment rate is 80%. And so there's a lot of traditional barriers that are in place in traditional job situations. But the NFT and Web3 community can kind of do away with all of that.
Right.
And it's just like, a global community where we're all friends, even though we may speak different languages and even though we may be from different places. Think bigger than just yourself, I guess, is kind of our takeaway. Think about, is there somebody that you can include that may have a disability? Is there something that you can do that would make your system more accessible? Is there something that, could benefit somebody? Because everybody benefits when it gets better than that. Everybody benefits. It makes it all bigger than yourself.
And then, did Houston speak yet?
You did. We spoke yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we had a great audience. We
Glad to
had
hear
a
that.
lot of audience participation. I think
good.
applause.
Oh, good.
And I think it's the right place. It's the right people. It's the right heart to be able to really make a difference. And it's kind of a unique point in history,
Right.
mankind,
No doubt.
for people with disabilities. We've met a lot of neurodivergent people here at the conference.
Well, Rainbow.
She lives in Tennessee.
I built a fun relationship with her and her mom over the years. I brought them to some of my AI events and, of course, collaborating with them here.
Houston and Rainbow both have their art on the moon.
That's so
They
cool.
were part of the Moon Mars project.
Well, I'd love for you guys to say hi to Weston and my son Kenton. They can give you guys a T-shirt before you go. Thanks for coming to meet me. Houston's going to take that microphone off the collar. Okay.
Yeah.
Great to meet you.
Yeah, great to meet you too.
Okay, say bye to everybody at NFT.NYC.
Oh, hi.
Weston,
Yeah, thank you.
West. Let's get them a T-shirt. Hey, honey, come back over. I'm gonna come.
Daddy.
Good to see you. Hey, if you just wait a moment, I can rotate you. You did the CS last year. That's what I thought. Hey, Nathan, come on over, honey. Yeah. Come on outside, honey. All right, everybody. I'm here with my honey. You just stay with us. I'm here with our 8-year-old Nathan. Nathan, say hi to the internet.
Hi.
So I've been bringing our 2 older boys for, let's see, the first time I brought our son Malachi and Kenton was 2020, a month before the pandemic. And so Kenton was your age at that point. And it's like their 4th or 5th time coming. So Nathan, this is your first time ever in New York. How do you like New York, honey?
I like it because it's different. Philippines in Manila. It reminds me a lot about everything in the Philippines, and it's just so popular. And we can just see Times Square when we look down on the window.
Yes, we can see Times Square right from our room. We can actually see the red stairs. And we always have those red stairs on our TV at home, getting our heart prepared to be here. And how do you like being here at NFT.NYC and all the artwork? You've gotten so many stickers and so many shirts and hats and toys and trinkets and things. Everything's a toy to you, son. Even my microphone's a toy. So how do you like being here with all of the artists?
I just like to see their art.
Yeah. Have you seen any art that's your favorite?
Not yet.
Okay, you're still looking for your favorite thing? Okay. And what was it like watching?
Yeah, the Shiba, you know.
Everybody likes to see Inu. How can you
Yeah, we
not?
saw a Shiba there.
All right. Yeah, the little doggy that I saw him walk by. And how was it watching your mom speak and showing off your artwork? Because she showed your originals that you did on Procreate, and she also showed the AI creations that you and I made with Midjourney, and we turned into NFTs. So how did you like doing that?
I'm hyperactive. I was over hyperactive.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And last week, I was with your brother Malachi, and we were hanging out with Julia, and then we got to be in the Philippines. That was nice. And your brother is also an artist. Tell us about your brother's art, John.
Oh, John. He used to trace before, but like he used to trace like what I did with a picture of Luffy that I found on Google. I traced it. It's like what he did. It's like, so he has like customers. So
Clients.
yeah, he has clients and he sells his art to his clients, and he traces it first. And like it's very good because it's like he should be an animation person. He should be like an anime creator.
I've seen his art. It's quite impressive.
Yeah.
Nathan, thank you for sitting down with me. You can go play again.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay, give mommy that speaker on your mic, on your collar.
Can I see the Shiba?
Yeah, come join me.
Can I see the Shiba?
Honey, why don't you put the mic on her collar?
Oh, okay.
We're live on all the NFT.NYC channels. So, hello, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and YouTube.
Yeah.
We first met at Philippines Blockchain Week,
Yes.
and then I think you've been here with us at least for 3 years. Is that right?
What?
Oh,
Yeah,
long,
I,
so-
I, yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So, but yeah, we met almost 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, because I think you connected with the team there at Token.
PPW.
Yeah, but didn't you connect them originally at Token, or you went to Token for them, or something of that nature?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
back in April.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So it was Token, and then there was Philippines, and again Philippines.
And then
yeah.
back to here.
Yeah. And it's all over. And I was in Lisbon.
Right.
I was in NFC Lisbon.
Yeah, I hear great things about that event. I haven't
Oh
made
my
it yet.
God, that was John is doing like an incredible job.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
In Lisbon, yeah.
Well, I've really enjoyed NFT.NYC this year. This is our 8th event.
Yes.
And I like being back at the Marriott. I like the fact that basically you have artists, investors, and entrepreneurs here. You know, people that should be spending time together, should be finding collaborative things to do together. So what's your experience been like for the last day and a half?
So this is my favorite event. And
It's easy to be a favorite.
Yeah. And I tell you why. It's very simple. It's all started here. You know, everything, and I think in the market and in the last few years, all the conversation all started here.
Yeah.
And it feels original.
Right.
So even though it's smaller this year than it was, I think, a couple of years ago, but it feels the right amount of people,
I like
the right state of mind, the right energy, the right content. And I think that, nowadays when you go to conferences, I mean, it's more about what we're doing right now. I was so happy to see you guys yesterday. I mean, it's just the connection that we have, the relationship that we build. But also, listen, last night, the Noche welcome party.
Right.
I mean,
Were you so loud you couldn't hear your thoughts?
but, no, I mean, but it's like you.
Everyone
I
lost their
don't-
voice.
Right, but I don't
No,
think
it's
you
amazing.
can find
Always-
in New York
Yeah.
better exhibition of best people. And when you talk about art
Yeah.
and the merging of art
Right.
and conversation and the digital media and the digital currency and everything. So
It's amazing.
yeah,
Yes.
amazing.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Any call to action that you want to give? Anything that people should look into that you're working on or collaborating
Yeah.
with, or you're involved in so many things. So what are you passionate about today?
So first of all, I'm about to give a talk on a panel, "The Art of Slowing Down."
I like
which
that.
is that
The Art of Slowing Down.
You know me. I mean, I always bring myself into the present moment
Right.
and try to be very mindful about everything. But I have a major career in benefits in the U.S. in the global market, and I really need help and support from the crypto, Bitcoin, NFTs, Web3, all the blockchain possibilities to actually move and help me in the healthcare industry to implement that more and to explain more, to share more, to educate the industry, the healthcare industry, because there's the potential is like it's huge, and I think that's where is my biggest passion is. And from here, I'm going to Miami to a really major conference in benefits in the benefits industry.
Right.
And I'm the only one who's actually talking about that. And these people are like, yeah, okay, it sounds good, it sounds great. We own some crypto, but I think that I will need the army to to join me in collaboration and partnership, and
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And what time do you speak today?
Right now in 12:25. 12:25. It's
coming up.
Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, it's with some amazing people, and it's thank you for continuing setting it up. The lunch. I'm looking at the lunch right now. I mean, it's the healthiest food I ever seen in a conference. I'm like,
It's important. Keep people energized the right way, the right stuff.
And I love seeing the kids.
No, this is family year.
Yes.
My wife and I, we brought our 3 sons.
Which is really, I think it's special. And I need to bring you to speak in the healthcare industry.
Yeah, we talked about that before.
So it needs to, it's happening. It's happening. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
Well, thanks for sitting down with me.
Thank you, Ian. It's
always good to share a conversation with you.
I love you. So
I'll take the microphone off your collar. Malachi? You can just pull it off. There you go. Son?
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Put that bad boy on. Take a seat. I'll be right with you.
All right, Dave. Hey, party people.
Today we're gonna be interviewing mom.
Your dad's gonna come back in just a sec.
Okay. Like a Shiba. You like Shibas?
Symmetrical. I love symmetry.
Symmetry.
Yeah, we got it. There we go.
Symmetry.
Everybody's like, yeah, we knew Ian. We knew Ian had mental
Dad,
issues.
These aren't symmetrical.
That's all right. It's in the middle.
Okay.
That's good enough.
Mike.
Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome to NFT.NYC 2025. It is June 26th, and this is our 8th event. Now, you have been to all of the New York events since 2020, so this is your 6th event because you didn't come to London.
Yeah, I thought I missed a year.
You missed 19, the first year.
I've been to all of them since. I thought I was in at 21.
You may have missed 21.
But I've been to a lot of events.
You've been to a lot of them. So you're 16 now. You're working on a project. You're using, Riza talked about it yesterday during her keynote. Your project is using AI tools. You primarily use Grok and ChatGPT. Use others too. And you're making the content and the designs for a book series. And then you'll be bundling in NFTs. So tell us a bit about your experience watching Riza give her talk yesterday and seeing the slide about you and what you're working on and what, it's just kind of still emerging compared to the kids. Like, They already have their first project in the books. So what was yesterday like for you? What was it like to kind of see your project be acknowledged from the main stage?
It was nice. I mean, it's the kind of project that takes more time. And so I want it to really, really get there before it is fully released. And so it's still in the works and it wasn't too much, but it was nice to get recognized.
And I shared at the end, tokenized communities,
Yeah.
NFTs, AI, and memes. You heard me give that similar talk 3 times in Southeast Asia.
Passionate and intense talk.
It's always passionate and intense if I'm on a stage, especially if I'm on a one wheel. Then it gets real juicy. So what was yesterday like for you? It's the 4th time you heard the basic idea.
Yeah.
So what did you take away from the talk yesterday?
Yeah, so I think it's rare for someone to hear a similar message 4 times, just slightly different. But I've gotten to have that. And each time I see little different ways that you change. And I think the message you're talking about is very important. And I think that it's something that really matters because you're not trying to sell a product or a service. You're trying to tell people something that's genuinely important, that we as humans and people have communities in society that we do and live in. And it's what we've done for forever.
Right.
And you were talking about how this is kind of starting to now have new ways of existing within tokenized communities where we each live in a community and we get to have a token a part of it. Right. That's what our friends here are for Christ is King. It's like when I really think about it, I'm like, oh my God, this is like, how has this not already happened? You take a massive movement, which is Christianity in
2.5 billion Catholics, Christians, and mystics. It's a lot of people. And you just
give them a token. But that stuff is really important, and I think it's a good message for everyone here. But for me specifically, I learned so much by hearing you say this similar thing 4 times because I learned a lot by the way that you speak and giving me learning lessons of how to speak and also how to be able to not just say the same thing over and over again if I have an idea I'm passionate about, but to be able to notice the ways that I did good and notice the ways that I could have done better, and then deciding to improve and seamlessly work that through. And that was the main thing that I think I took away.
You know, I've brought you on stage several times at different events. You know, we have this event, NFT.NYC. I have a bunch of AI events, some other events in the blockchain space. Last week in Southeast Asia was the first time that I thought you really became comfortable with the microphone and the camera. Really nice. Like last year, we did like 250 live streamed interviews that we minted on the blockchain in real time with Attention Live, our product. Mm-hmm. And you still were pretty nervous.
Very. So,
what's it been like for you to kind of like settle and be easygoing and like any moment I can just bring you in like right now and you can just chat? How's that process been? Because I wasn't really comfortable in front of a camera until I was in my 30s and you're 16. So,
well, I mean, having a dad like you makes it so this process happens a little more rapid. And I think something that this makes me think of is like, I met someone here, well, not met, I thought I met. I saw someone here who I actually had turned out to have done my little pitch last year too. And yesterday,
that's right. I paid you guys for every single person that you signed up for the product.
And I was so scared to go talk to people. It was like half you said you would.
Now I'm just remembering that for the first time. I don't know if I actually did pay you guys.
You paid the total in half. Jeez.
If I still owe you money, you have to remind me of it. Okay. I forget sometimes.
Dad, you're my father. I owe you so much money.
You owe me everything.
But we had an amazing conversation yesterday. It was such a good talk.
That's
like
awesome.
We just, and it wasn't even like we were trying to talk with each other. It was just like I went over and I noticed this dude who had a beautiful, luxurious purple beard. And I was like,
that guy has quite the righteous beard.
Oh, I want to get him on later because that is the peak.
He has quite the righteous beard. There is no doubt.
And so then we just started talking, and then it was just a flowy, beautiful conversation, and we loved it. And then I went and saw him today, and he was like, "Oh, your booth. Oh, I know you from last year. You gave me a little pitch, and you tried to sell me coffee."
That's cool.
And I'm like,
"Oh, that's right. We had this steep coffee last year."
And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that's hilarious." Yeah. And he's like, "Dude, you've changed so much. You've gotten a lot better." I'm like, "Thanks." And it just it felt so good to know that in just a single year, I've learned so much, and it's all because of the opportunities you've given me in these spaces.
Awesome. Well, I think we have a friend that wants to jump in that's talking to Weston.
Yeah, I
Why
want to get
don't
him
you
in.
go and see if he's ready? If he's ready, bring him
Yeah.
over and give him the mic. I think he's ready. So pop that mic on his collar. Come on over. Come on over, Thomas. Good to see you again.
Hey, nice seeing you.
So let me adjust that mic. We got so many cameras. We got so many mics going on here. I'm gonna pop that thing up so it gets you just right. There we go.
Okay.
You got a book in your hand.
Yes.
Is that you?
Yes, just released it.
So let me first introduce us, just for those tuning in. We're live on NFT.NYC's YouTube, LinkedIn, X, Instagram, and Facebook. So hello, party people. This is Thomas. He was with us last year. Thomas, why don't you introduce yourself to our friends on the socials of NFT.NYC?
Hey, yes, I'm Thomas James Adams III, and I'm the founder of AHDX. We're a data orchestration layer for healthcare and science.
And so tell us a bit about what's changed in the last year. Some people saw the interview you did with us at the Attention Live booth last year that we live minted, and I think we sent you some NFTs of that. So what's changed in the last year? Or let's see, it's June now, that was April. So it's been 14 months, bro. What did you do with 400 days?
Really a lot. AHDX we have a full team now, and we have our full MVP getting ready to scale. We're in the middle of closing around. And really a lot. And just released this book called...
Yeah, talk to us about the book.
Yes, it's called The Data Sovereignty Revolution, Decentralizing Healthcare and Science. And it just released on Tuesday, and it was the #1 new release on Amazon for its category.
Congratulations.
And, yes, thank you. And yes, so that's pretty much about the book.
And so people can just type this in right here. The Data Sovereignty Revolution, Decentralized Healthcare and Science. Let me bring this close to the camera. Camera, get a little bit of that action right there. So it says, our data-built empires, now it's time to reclaim it. So tell us a bit about what does it mean to reclaim data?
Yes, so you can use, with blockchain technology and the new things like DAOs and other things like trends like DeSci, we now have the tools to reclaim ownership of our data. So versus corporations selling our data without our knowledge or consent, we can now use these tools and platforms and new companies to better control our data.
And what's been the concern with the way that these trillion-dollar market cap companies, it used to be FANG, now it's Mango, right? So FANG was like Facebook and Amazon and Netflix and Apple and Google. So now I heard it's Mango, which is Meta, still Apple, NVIDIA, still Google, and OpenAI. So whether it's FANG, Mango, or some other multi-trillion-dollar market cap company like a Microsoft or whatever, they have been using your data, my data, everyone that's our first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and 28th cousin. We're all related in some way. They've been using our data to build their empires. What's the concern with the way things have been? And what's the reason why people should take control and have sovereignty over their data?
Yes, so the concern is companies are using our data without really our knowledge or consent. And also they're using unregulated markets to trade the data. And so a lot of times our data gets sold for undisclosed amounts, and it's really normally high amounts when they are disclosed. And so, yes, so through blockchains and DAOs and things like that, we can now control our data. And we can also be compensated for the sale of our data as well, and sell our own data as well.
And how do NFTs play into that? Because here we are at NFT.NYC. And so what's the connection with what you're working on when it comes to, digital assets, crypto collectibles, and everything in this NFT space?
Yes, so with data NFTs, it's really kind of a newer thing, but it's still developing. But yes, data NFTs, they allow you, they're like an NFT, but for a data set, and they allow you to control your data.
And how do people kind of check into this, and where do they find you, your team? Like, where's the call to action for people to kind of go check things out?
Yes, so you can check this out on our website, www.ahdx.org. And check this out. Check me out on LinkedIn, Thomas J. Adams III. And we also have a foundation launching that further pushes our mission, which is to educate people and organizations on the benefits of decentralization when it comes to healthcare and science. And you can check us out. Our website for that is gdhif.org. And yes, that's pretty much.
Awesome. Well, Thomas, thanks for sitting down with me.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Everybody, you're welcome. You're welcome for giving you access to Thomas and this bitchin' book right here. Bitchin's a good thing where I'm from. I'm not talking about no female dog. I'm talking about bitchin' as in rad, awesome. Some people say sick. There's all sorts of words for things that we're excited about. I'm excited about this book. Go to Amazon right now. Buy Thomas's book. Let's keep it in the top category for its location.
Thank you.
All right, my friend.
Thank you. Really appreciate
Till
it.
next time.
Thank you.
You have to give back my microphone, though. You can't leave that microphone on the caller. I feel good. Well, hey, you want to come in and sit with me? We can have the conversation together. You can record it. Why don't you bring it over here? Sounds good. Well, why don't you bring it over here, and then you can come sit with me and ask me any question you want.
No, I want you just to tell me about the project that you're passionate about, right? I heard a lot of it yesterday.
Sure.
You don't need any coaching, you don't need anything. So why don't you look at it this way? I always tell people this. You always get interviewed, or myself also, and like people never ask me the questions I want to ask. There's always something on your mind that you always wanted to speak out. If you wanted to do that, this is who I am. This is my project.
Sure. Well, do you want me to look at the camera?
Yeah, look at the camera. You know what? Because I can go to your wife, I can go to your kids
Sure.
if you want.
All right, NFT.NYC. I'm gonna do a little interview for a friend, so you can kind of listen and join in. All right, so well, here we are at NFT.NYC 2025 inside the Marriott Marquis. Yesterday, I did a talk called "Tokenized Communities" about NFTs, AI, and memes, and I do think this is an important message. There's a reality right now that these NFTs, we're here at NFT.NYC, are these exclusive private clubs, right? Where oftentimes anybody can join in and get themselves something like a piece of a Bitcoin or an Ethereum or a meme coin. And I think that there's a sense where we've decentralized communities, and we've done this through distributed ledgers and blockchains. I think this is going to be really important for every sector of society, media, art, education, you name it. It's going to really permeate all sectors of society. And I think it's going to bring us back to our roots, where people are decentralized and in control of their community, where they find their people, they find their purpose, where they set themselves on fire and let people come watch them burn in a metaphorical type of way. So excited to be here with the leaders. I think we have artists here, investors and entrepreneurs in the NFT space. Always nice to be with friends. And so that's a bit about what's on my mind.
Well, you know what really got me was I have a wife and I have children.
How many kids do you have?
I have two. I have a 19 and a 13, and they both have NFTs and Bitcoin, but that's it. Dad, we're good. Don't want to talk about it. You know, but in your family, I felt the passion of all of you, not just one, but I saw it translate over to your children, the way you guys are affectionate with each other, and for me, that's like, you know, that's, you can't buy that with money. You could have billions of dollars. You could be Jeff Bezos and buy Venice to do your wedding, but you can't buy this type of affection, right? So, did you guys meet because you were into the same thing, or did you,
That's a cool question.
Know, did you guys like blend into that?
Yeah, you may talk to you, or you want me to look at your camera?
You could do it with your stuff.
No. Well, I'll just talk with you. So, I met my wife in the Philippines. I've been going there for 18 years. I first went to the Philippines as a missionary, kind of. We called ourselves musicianaries.
Okay, right on.
We made all these songs, advocacy songs about anti-human trafficking, about drug addiction, about suicide, and we basically toured around the world through Asia, Europe, and the States, and we were just kind of sharing our music, doing concerts. That was my first introduction to the Philippines, the Filipino culture. Loved it, so I started events in Southeast Asia. I met my wife at one of our events, and yeah, I mean, obviously we had some things in common. We both were into crypto stuff. We're both into AI stuff. So when it comes to our family, you know, we have the advantage of our parents live right next to us. We're with our parents, you know, like every week, many times a week. We have our 3 boys with us, and so yeah, we have a very unique environment where our family life, our business life, our play, our work, our passions are all merged together and kind of put in a blender and stirred. And so everything just kind of feels like we're a family unit. That's why this year was family year. My wife and I brought our 3 sons. Yeah, but thanks. That's a cool question.
No, man, I just love to see family. You know, as time progresses, right? We lost the village, in a sense, right? That whole concept of the village is gone. You know, I think it happened with my generation, where you no longer have your like my daughter right now is with her grandmother, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's really an important part of us going forward, and you know, going forward in the future. You know, we're in the technology space, but there was people out there that lived in golden years without technology. Right. And we're looking for golden years because we haven't found it yet. We're at war with technology.
Sure.
So
it's all perspective.
Yeah, right. All perspective. So us getting together in these events, because this is very human. The people that are
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
So I think like this is like we have a chance still to, you know, we're doing something that's still going to have a strong impact on society overall. And that's what I believe, you know what I mean? And you can see in the giving nature of the people in Bitcoin.
Right.
Has that helped you? Like, you know, that giving nature of Bitcoin has made you even stronger? Because I know that there's that part where we've encountered people that are very giving in the scene.
I think people are much more giving in bear markets, in times of lull.
Okay.
I think people are much more giving when it doesn't feel like there's a strong monetary value. So I'll give you an example. I have friends, one specifically comes to mind, that used to have a Bitcoin faucet. And he would give like 5 Bitcoins away for free back in like 2010, 2011. All you had to do was go to his website, put in your email, and he'd give you these instructions. That was super complicated. It took like hours to be able to get the 5 Bitcoin, but you could get the 5 Bitcoin off his faucet. So at that point, that's when Bitcoin, you know, somebody used 10,000 Bitcoin to buy a pizza, 2 pizzas. So there wasn't a lot of monetary value, and it was a bear market. It wasn't the bull run. And so people were very generous then. Okay. That dude hasn't been giving no Bitcoin away lately. So
see where you're getting.
I'll give you another example. In 2019, 2020, before NFTs hit, before the pandemic, everybody was giving NFTs away. You know, I mean,
yes,
you could get, like, I remember we did, the same team at NFT.NYC did Consensus 2019, right after our first event in May.
Right.
And I think we gave like 300,000 NFTs away at that event. Roll around to 2021, 2022, the only free NFTs that were being given away were scams to try to drain your wallet.
Yes.
So one of my observations, because I started running the Future of Blockchain and the Future of AI, those 2 separate events that I launched inside Twitter's headquarters, 2017. It's how I first met Jody Rich and Cameron Bale, and we kind of, you know, they launched this and I helped them. So I remember whenever things are bull runs, everyone gets focused on themselves, extracting capital, holding on to things, selling things, and like, what can they get from it?
Right.
Not that that's bad. And when it's a bear market, like right now, we're back into a bear of NFTs. Maybe that ends tomorrow. Maybe it ends in a year. I don't know. And so people are pretty apt to like give NFTs away right now. Like you can get lots of free NFTs, like legitimate NFTs from projects here that may have a lot of value in 10 years. But it wasn't that way in 22 or 23.
Yes.
So I think that there's an element of generosity, unfortunately, is often tied to the ability to extract value from the asset in the moment. Now, part of that also has to do with the fact that everything's decentralized. So for instance, during the bull run of 22, 21, somebody gives NFTs away that are worth $100. What is the person going to do that they just got that free NFT? They're going to go dump it.
Yeah.
Now the base price of $100 goes down to 95, 90, 85. So there was an element of just not lack of generosity. There was also an element of just like protecting their current collectors.
Right.
So that's also an element. So it's very complicated. Nothing is black and white. Everything is gray. Everything is like it's a complicated element to kind of figure out what's what and why it is the way that it is.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. I mean, we still don't know who Satoshi is.
We still don't know, or
Right?
if it's a guy, if it's a girl, if it's a group of people.
Well, I think he's still around. But
Yeah.
He's right now in Indonesia. He's somewhere.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, he is.
A lot of powerful people are hiding out in Baldy.
Well, right. So we have the story, our story in the Bitcoin space, right? You have your characters, right? So I don't know how deep you know it, but I have a funny feeling you're pretty deep. So I'm going to throw a name at you, Dr. Craig. Right?
Oh yeah, Craig Wright. Yeah, he claimed to be Satoshi, then he got in trouble for it.
Well, hold on.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe you know the story better than I do.
No. His trouble was the day he created Bitcoin. All his trouble started that day, right? It didn't come eventually. It started the day. So Dr. Craig Wright is an Australian, mined Bitcoin until the 50th block. First Bitcoin after the 50th block goes to Hal Finney. Hal Finney gets the first Bitcoin. All the characters in Cyberpunk, you probably know them, Peter Todd, Adam Beck, blah, blah, blah. I go down the line, right?
I mean, Jack Dorsey was involved early on.
Okay. Everybody had a nickname, except Satoshi didn't have a face,
right?
And Dr. Craig Wright didn't have a nickname. Everybody wants him to move the first Bitcoins that he had. He can't move the first Bitcoin. The first 50 Bitcoins are locked in the protocol. If people don't know enough of that, then I tell them to go look at that, then they come back and talk. Right? Then you have the other things that have happened to Dr. Craig Wright, from going into total hiding in Antigua for 2 years, or protecting himself, should I say. Coming back out of that, going to England, because England is the base of English law. The base of English law, going to England in that purpose. But involved in various, Ira Kleinman lawsuit. I believe there was, I forget his name, some character that was defaming, or he was defaming. They were suing each other. That went away. But the big one was the COPA, the Crypto Open Patent Alliance lawsuit, which was Jack Dorsey and his buddies, including Meta. Meta jumped out of the lawsuit the day before the trial. The day right before the trial, Meta jumped out.
Right.
So we know it's Coinbase, blah, blah, blah. We go through the whole list. Put in escrow in excess of $70 million to go after Dr. Craig Wright. Why would anybody put that kind of money to go after a character that's not the character?
Right.
Why? Why even waste your time?
Right.
And they did.
Sounds like you are fairly convinced Craig's the guy.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Okay.
Without a doubt. And the reason why is because I've been here in New York with meetings with him next to me.
Yeah.
So I don't just know about him. I know him. I have a video with him and friends.
Really?
I have a woman that came out of the crowd. Can I sing you a song, Dr. Craig Wright? Because I love you and I have passion for you. I know who you are. And we're in the middle of all this. And I'm involved with the whole. There's two of us here, or three of us that are in the around the BSV Association, what's the First American Association.
Right.
So there's only one blockchain. All of the other chains are exact replicas, clones, twisted a little bit. And not only that, we went from proof of work to proof of stake, right? At one point. So there's one that belongs to that man. So in the end, he hasn't proved that, for me, I think it was convenient not to win a lawsuit. Why did I win a lawsuit against you when I'm only worth $100,000? Well, I'm not going to wait for one that's worth $1 million. I have $1,300,000 of them.
Right.
So let me wait. Let me throw the case. So maybe that's what happened.
Interesting.
We don't know, but man, I could almost lean that way. So goes into this Twitter. He has somebody that handled his old Twitter account. Last year comes back with a new account. Satoshi Nakamoto Tominaga. Tominaga is his new handle on Twitter if you ever want to go follow it.
I see.
And he came back. So we used to follow each other on LinkedIn until he got booted out of LinkedIn.
Interesting.
That day he got booted, he put proof of stake, proof of work. Proof of stake, a skillet cooking steak.
Right.
Proof of work, a pig fucking a dog, humping a dog.
Right.
Twitter kicked him out. Not Twitter, LinkedIn kicked him out that day. I was
Interesting.
like, fuck, I have we're talking to each other now. He hasn't followed me on Twitter, but we correspond. You know?
Yeah.
So now him continue on Twitter as CS Tominaga, he comes out and he schools everybody about Bitcoin. I mean, really hardcore schools. I've been following him, right?
Yeah.
Then he goes into his next phase, he goes against everybody that attacked everybody. I mean, Roger Ver on down. You know what I mean? And Roger Ver is somebody that, you know, I think they had friendship or whatever. Now he's on the, so Dr. Craig Wright has over 20 doctorates. I don't know if you knew that or not.
No.
Dr. Craig Wright owns over 1,400 patents on the blockchain.
Wow.
Blockchain patents. Dr. Craig Wright is a pastor. Dr. Craig Wright is a mountain climber, he's a kayaker, and he's a wielder of the katana.
Really?
Dr. Craig Wright is a person that is very honest and loves to be attacked and loves to listen to people when they attack him.
Really?
Go look for Tominaga on Twitter, man. Look him up and see what he has written lately, just for you to understand where he's going, because he's coming at you very psychologically, there's a lot of words in the ology that he comes out of, because the guy is brilliant, man. I mean, there's no way, you know, outside of him being Satoshi, he is like as a person.
Really?
But it was nice talking to you.
No, I'm glad you sat down and shared that with me.
Yeah, dude.
I hadn't had anybody share that perspective with me.
I've had people, like when I talk to people that are, because he's the villain of Bitcoin. I've had people almost get hit by cars, not shooting you, almost get hit by cars, almost jump out of roofs.
Amazing.
And just like freak out, not talk to me at all.
Amazing.
And in the space,
yeah,
it's not, I'm not the, dude, not to brag, but I'm an open person and I talk to people. So I don't have a huge amount of followers, but
but the ones that follow you.
Yeah, there's some really good ones,
man.
Yeah. Like including one of my favorites is, even though I'm a little mad at him, is our friend Brock Pierce.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, Brock Pierce.
I know Brock quite well.
So and I'm sure.
I bet you're the first person that's ever been mad at Brock. I'm kidding, bro. I'm kidding.
Yeah. You know why? Because when I first met him, he sold me on the idea of helping 1 billion people.
Yeah.
And that's great and all, but I'm seeing what happened in Puerto Rico, and I'm seeing what happened after he ran for president. And really, he's soothing and established. I saw because we follow each other. He's on Twitter. He's following. You know, he's soothing an establishment. And look, I'm mad at the world. I'm not going to choose anybody in particular,
sure.
or you know, but I'm mad at the world because we haven't seen better. We haven't learned from our history better, and we're just killing our children,
right?
That have done nothing,
right?
They didn't ask to put a rebar.
Yeah.
You know, and instead of giving them the tools to succeed, to make our planet, save our planet, we're giving them the tools to destroy it.
Right.
The fuck.
Right.
So for me, I'm super angry. So when people come and they're in a leader position and they promise to lead and take people to a higher position, meanwhile, they're part of destruction. No, you can't sell them that. I came to a country where I landed in 1974 from Portugal, turned on television, and John Wayne is killing Indians. And I was crying. My mother's like, "Why are you crying?" And I couldn't voice it at the moment. I couldn't explain it to you, but I was born in the woods, right? I was born in the town of 120 people. So I knew the community. I knew that little teepee thing that they had in the middle of the prairie that John Wayne is shooting and killing. And, you know, you're killing a guy with a gun and he's got a bow and arrow, man. Where's your advantage? Where's your profit? Where's your loss? You know, you're not even killing them in an equal state.
Right.
So I lost my religion to a certain degree, and I found my new one when I read Black Elk, and I went to South Dakota and I stayed in Pine Ridge with Crazy Horses relatives.
Really?
So I went and I stayed with the people that were in their golden years, that had bows and arrows, but the people with the guns weren't. And they thought they were in their golden. So the guys that were in deception of their minds that they were in their golden years because they had full showers, blah 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 blah. Were not there. That guy that was nomad, that was traveling 700 miles with food, with everything, respecting, thanking the planet as it gave him, we're happy to come.
Yeah.
But that's a little bit of my story, you know. But I covered this. I love NFT world, and I love
Yeah, we glad to
like
have you.
guys, you know what I mean? People like you
Yeah.
guys make it all worthwhile. Me coming back every year because I do this out of my own pocket. I can make, my
Right.
job pays me over $500 a day.
Mm.
I come here and I support Jody.
Yeah, I'm glad that you
Continue
do.
to stream.
Yeah.
And he lets me in for free, but I give back to him. I create these
Right.
PKs and I put your images through. And a friend of mine's a Billboard 100 artist. That's what he uses with music. So it's not just anybody.
That's awesome.
It's a very strong presentation.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I hashtag the NFT.NYC. So
Yeah.
you can follow some of the stuff.
I don't
that comes
know
up.
if we have each other's contact. Let me just give you my card here.
Yeah, no, let me give you also one
So
of my.
this
one
is
of my
this is my cell phone,
Oh, excellent.
and that's the best way. If you could just send me over the work that you do for this year,
I'll
I'd
send
love
you
to take a
clip
look
of
at
this.
it.
I'll send you a clip of this.
Awesome.
Oh, you got kids, so you need extra.
Yeah, we need extra stickers. This is a cool card.
No,
huh?
you need extra stickers.
I love it. Blockchainhouseportugal.com.
Yes, sir. And if you ever need anything or you want to reach out, if there's anything we can exchange, you want to go to stay at Blockchain House Portugal for a week.
Oh, that's
let me
cool.
know. I know that you know who got a hold of me first, right?
Huh.
To go there, and I said we're not ready for you, and they were still not ready. But I'll tell you
Yeah.
what, the plumbing is not 100% there, but it works. It has heat, it has air conditioning.
Yeah.
You know, it's not 5-star. You don't want to be in the house. You want to be outside the house.
Yeah,
right?
no
So
doubt.
you want to go there and sleep.
Right.
The Bitcoin family.
That's cool.
You know Didi? You heard of Didi,
Okay.
right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he called me up. I was like, Didi, through Vesa. You know Vesa?
Yeah, I know. Of course, the artist.
So Vesa got a hold of me. You know, is Didi, can you go to your house? I was like, look, let him go to Portugal. He'll find a much better house. He
Right.
anywhere he goes. Because not only that,
Of course.
Range Rover gave him a try.
Yeah, of course they did.
Remember that?
Of course they did.
Hey, a pleasure meeting you. It's a cute.
She's shy. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry for taking so much.
No, not at all. Hey, Malachi, come on over, honey. You come in my slot, honey. Reezy, you sit down. We will soon. Sit down. Okay, sit down.
Why do I have to sit down?
Yeah, I'm switching up. Okay, back up. Not right now. Okay, two of you.
Yes.
Talk. Say hi to the party people.
Hello, party people. Hello, internet.
Nathan.
Welcome to NFT.NYC
He wants to say hi.
2025. And we are here in our beautiful booth. We can call it as a booth. And we have lots of giveaways here. We have shirts from CIK. We have
lots of stuff to give away.
stickers. We have snap clips. Shout out to Justice.
We love you, Justice.
Yes. And shout out to our Web3 right there in the Philippines. Yeah. How about you?
Have we settled with all the shout outs?
Yes, we have shout
Yes,
outs.
that's all the shout outs. Okay, I want to ask you, because I don't know if you've told them
Mhm.
about what you were talking about yesterday. And
Oh,
from
yeah.
my perspective as one of your kids, what was it that you were talking about exactly yesterday?
The talk yesterday is very inspiring, especially for those people or family that they don't have idea actually what NFT is all about. So as we all know, as you can see here, or most NFTs, NFT NYC or blockchain events, you can see mostly our artists,
Yeah.
collectors, and they're just individuals or couples or a team.
Mhm.
But you haven't seen, or it's very rare to see a family like us.
Yeah, I don't think
So-
I've seen any.
Exactly.
Nobody
So
with, husband, wife, and kids. I don't think.
exactly. So in my talk yesterday, I shared how a family can co-create, collaborate, and teach their kids, educate the children about using their drawings, digital art. Their digital doesn't have to be, their arts don't have to be sitting in their iPads only.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is just what I did. So we can educate them that we can also help this family and children to monetize their drawings.
Yeah, be able to
right?
make money off of it.
Exactly. And as we all know, AI can also help to enhance their drawings. So yesterday, I showed two different drawings of of Kenton and Nathan.
Yeah.
So we showed them the original art, and we showed also them the Mid Journey AI
Yeah.
enhanced.
Lets you take, because kids are always doodling and
Mhm.
being artistic. It's kind of a one of those things that kids just always do. And this is finally letting kids take little doodles that they make,
Mhm.
and then their mom, Riza, can help them take their little doodles and throw it into AI, which doesn't take like any time at all.
Exactly.
And then now you have a beautiful drawing, and you can sell both hand in hand or sell the beautiful one.
Yeah.
And then you can go and sell these. And
Yes.
people are also very incentivized to buy them because it's by a kid.
Mhm.
And it also looks really cool. And so this is a really, really good way to let kids start to make a little bit of money on the side.
You're
when they're young.
totally right. You're totally
And be able
right.
to just make cool stuff. Like,
Yes.
that's one of the gifts of being a human.
Yeah. And in my talk, I also included your book journey, right?
Yeah.
So you are still in a process of creating your own digital book series. So yeah, we're gonna be working on it,
Yeah,
and of
that
course,
should be done
yes,
at some
exactly.
point.
So, what do you actually looking forward for your book journey?
Yeah,
That's still
well,
in process.
we are taking stories of some of like the most influential people in history
Mhm.
and showing it through a kid's story lens, and it's going to be made with AI and things like
Yes.
that. And I think it's going to be really good. I'm excited because I want to make it that it's actually entertaining and it's good and enjoyable for kids, and I think it's going to be.
Yes, you're right. I mean, a lot of there are many young people nowadays, like your age, are creating their own ebook or book, and they're also using AI.
Yeah.
You know, they collaborate with the AI to create their images, and not only images but even the contents of the book. So that's actually what most people are doing nowadays.
Yeah. I mean, AI is so useful. It's crazy that something like this can happen so quickly, and all of a sudden we have this crazy new
Mhm.
ability. It's like jumping from not having libraries at all
You're right.
to having cell phones.
Mhm.
I mean, or it's kind of like the jump from libraries to cell phones. You have a jump from not really having any information. It's kind of all scattered between like, I don't know, tribes and small villages. And then now you have these centralized places where
Mhm.
called libraries where you put everything.
You're right.
And then once smartphones and things like that come out, people now are able to put them all in there. And then you have everything on the internet, but it's still kind of hard to find.
Mhm.
But miles better than having to travel across the entire world and go into a little village. Like, it's crazy. And then now we have AI, and I have a random curiosity. Like earlier, I was curious, is there actually a bunch of valuable minerals inside of my cell phone?
Mhm, yeah.
And so I just searched it up, and it told me like all about it.
Exactly.
And it's like any random curiosity, I can take like 4 minutes out of my day
Mhm.
and learn all about it in depth.
Exactly. And of course, in like what I shared in my talk yesterday, so any family can actually start those very
Yeah.
easy process. Like number one, create your own art. Of course, create original art. And number two, use AI to enhance it. And number three, do not forget to mint NFT.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's very
Because you
important.
want to preserve things. I mean, like we said earlier, like kids are always doodling and making art, so that's already easy and done.
You're
but then,
right.
as a parent, you can walk over and see, oh, you're making something,
Mhm.
and it might not be. Not every 8-year-old is going to be a masterful
Exactly.
artist, and it's not always going to be beautiful. But you can take an idea which can be just as good as an older person's idea,
You're right.
and then you can throw it into AI like Midjourney, which doesn't take much time at all and can be completely free. And then you just download that and throw it onto the blockchain, like
You're
things
right.
like that.
I agree. I have a question for you because most young people nowadays, like teenagers, I think you're aware that many teenagers nowadays are more into gaming, right?
Yes, this is
So
true.
in blockchain events, you will see that there is some part of the event that this part or this area are for gamers.
Yeah.
And you, all right, you also do online games, right? We
Yeah,
play
every now
online
and then.
games, right? It is very rare to see young people nowadays that we can call like not really artists, all right,
Yeah.
but they are more into creating like digital book or book like
Mhm.
you, or
Yeah,
some
yeah.
of them like one that your dad interviewed is a photographer.
Yeah, like I
So-
love looking at cool stuff,
Yeah.
but I'm not super good at making it.
Mhm. Yeah. So, but the
There's plenty of ways to be creative.
exactly,
kind of thing, yeah.
exactly. So, how can you actually inspire young people like you? Because you have been to different events,
Yeah.
you know, like blockchain events. You went to the Philippines. You've been here for this is how many times you've been here in this NFT
I think like
NYC?
4.
This is your 4 times, right?
Yeah.
So you have already experienced. So, can you give them
Yeah,
can you
I
tell
mean,
them about it?
there's plenty of kids who feel kind of lost and don't know what they're doing.
Mhm.
And I think that everybody has something they will or already love.
Mhm.
You just have to kind of dabble and find it out. And once you do, with the ability to now make things that are awesome
Mhm.
with AI,
Exactly.
I think you can kind of go into any way you want if you have something you love. Like you can always say you like building planes or you love the idea of flying. Now you can take a small little 3D printer that most libraries honestly have,
Yes.
and then you can just open up a computer. You can also do it on like a little laptop, and then just use AI to build a little plane, and then you can make a plane with 3D printing. Like that's one of the examples of just a kid who has passion and making something with it. And then say you can learn how to make really good 3D models and you can sell them as NFTs on the blockchain.
You're
So there's
totally right.
plenty of different ways that kids with some kind of creativity can learn to do something. And I think
Yes.
I'm lucky I get to live in that time.
Exactly. I mean, to all parents out there or couples with children, it's very important that it's also very important that they can take their children to this type of events like NFT NYC or any blockchain events.
Yeah, I've seen so many kids here who
Exactly.
have these parents who have
Mhm.
supported them so much, and
You're right.
kids
That's
who
so
have
amazing.
things that people would call problems, like
Mhm.
having autism or Down syndrome,
Yes.
but they take it and they flourish.
Mhm.
They use something that makes them unique, and they take that uniqueness to a place where it is beautiful.
You're
A
totally
place
right.
like an artist event like
Mhm.
NFT.NYC, and
Yeah.
their parent. It's mainly because of their parents that let them do things like this, because they're supportive and realize that this is something that would benefit them. And even though it's very sacrificial of them, they're having to fly out here.
Yeah.
It's something that is beyond beneficial for those kids. And I'm so lucky I get to see that.
Exactly. And we are now living in a technological world.
Yeah.
And children can do a lot of stuff online using their iPads, using their cell phones. So instead of stopping them doing those kind of things, why not support them and educate them? How can they be? How can their arts or what they're doing can be, useful?
Mhm.
I have met a lot of parents in the Philippines and also children that in the beginning their parents like they're also these parents they don't allow their children to play online games.
Ah.
Yes, even in Dubai when we attended this gaming matters event, I met a
Sometimes it
lot.
makes sense, honestly.
Yes, and what happened is that these parents started like why this children, no matter how many times I stop them not to play games, they're into it. Like what they make them to be fascinated about online games. So what these parents did is like, I want to join. I want to see what my children are doing. So since then, they started doing that, and they found out like, oh, this is helpful. This is helpful
Yeah.
for my children, and
You can make things like that very, very helpful.
Exactly. So support them instead of stopping them. And of course, as parents, it's just like watching movie. You're always there to guide them, tell them what are the good and bad. Because we're not saying that all games are actually good. There are some games that are bad for our children. So we just have to, guide them.
It's easy to get caught in the loop of using games as pastime. Just
Exactly.
trying to pass the time.
You're
But I
right.
think that for people who either have a real skill or aren't fully like addicted to it in a way, or people who just it's really really what they enjoy, you can go into plenty of different things in
You're
the
right.
online gaming world. You can go into helping manage Discord servers. You can go into making your own games. That's something that I think is really 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 profound right now, because plenty of people have cool ideas that just aren't really able to happen because they don't have a massive team and a bunch of money to make it happen. But now that you have AI and they're getting really good at coding, especially games, that's one of the main things that they try and do. You can have a cool idea, like combining a game like chess and Sudoku. I don't know. That's just an example.
You're
Throw
totally
it into
right.
AI and it can make something out of it.
You're totally right. So we are here in this event, which is called, of course, NFT.NYC. All
Yeah.
right. So most people here are into NFTs or non-fungible tokens. So can you please?
I think we should make a better name for that. I feel
Yeah,
like
that's also what I
non-fungible
was
token doesn't
thinking.
make sense. It should be like digital asset or something.
Uh-huh.
But that also sounds a little too much. But something like that. Someone will eventually come up with a good name.
Yes.
Because NFT is just awful.
It's not only awful, because I have met a lot of people t- asking me, what does NFT mean?
Yeah.
All right. And every time I explain it to them, it's not that very easy for them to understand it.
Well, all an NFT is the reason why digital asset is good is because it's self-explanatory when you actually think. Like, what's an asset? Well, I own a home, for example. Not me,
Exactly.
but say you own a home, for example. That's an asset. Or you have a car. That's an asset. An NFT, or I like to say digital asset, is just a digital asset. So
Yes.
say you own a Bored Ape or something.
You're totally
There's your
right.
digital asset. It's worth like more than 3 cars or something. but
Exactly.
there's your
Exactly.
there's things like that, and that's why they're called that. I think that's the best way to explain it.
Yeah. So last year I had a talk about NFTs in education.
Yeah.
You know.
Very unique. Your talks have been probably the
Yes.
most unique out of anyone.
So I wasn't expecting that a year after, or even before it become a year, like less than a year, I heard that some universities or schools are using NFTs, but they don't call it as NFT. They call it as digital asset.
Yeah, because it's a better
Yes.
name.
Exactly. And it's easier for them to explain it to the parents of the students. So they're using they turn diplomas, certificate into digital asset, so it'll not be taken from them. Like no fake will be created anymore, unlike long time ago.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I just wonder if you will be given a chance to, like, not a chance, but I know and I can have a vision that someday you will be one of the speakers or whatever
Yeah, who knows?
event would it be, like
maybe
NFT
next year or
or
something.
not. Yes. So what topic would you like to educate people and inspire people, and why?
I think I want to do something that's related to me being a kid. There's plenty of smart people here.
Yeah.
Plenty of people who know their stuff, but they're not all kids. Like we were talking about some kids earlier, but
Yeah.
a lot of those kids are artists and they like doing things like that. But
Exactly.
I'm not fully into art.
Okay.
I like being creative though, and I love learning. It's one of the things that I'm lucky that I really love.
Yeah.
And I think that I'd want to talk about ways that this can be used for kids from my perspective. Like you're talking about from a parent's perspective and how, oh, you see your kids making something.
Yeah.
Oh, do this, do that, do this. 1, 2, 3 step.
Yeah.
But I think maybe a possible thing I could talk about is how kids can just dive into something that they actually love when they're young, instead of trying to find a job because they have to. But something where they enjoy it and they can dive into it and start using AI to actually make things happen.
You're totally right. I love that.
That's fun.
I love that talk. I want to hear that talk for the next year, or for any events that we'll be attending to.
Yeah.
So for me, I would love to share and have a talk about women in technology, or women, especially those moms who are at home, they're not just
Yeah, I
like
think
cleaning
moms
the
is the best thing to
house,
talk
they're
about.
not just taking care of the kids, but I want to inspire them that even though they're just at home, they can create NFTs, they can create any types of things and turn it into NFT. So a
Yeah.
while ago, I was making a joke that I want to turn my nails
Yeah.
into NFT,
Become a
so
hand model.
yes, you can be a hand model. Yeah, I can show different arts on my nails because
Yeah.
doing the art, we have the
Oh, that'd
nail
be cool
art.
to make a nail collection.
Yes, we have
An
nail
NFT.
arts, and I have done many different nail arts.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that why not make nail art as an NFT as well? I
See,
don't
there's
know.
plenty of ideas like this where, and many of them are super unique.
Exactly.
I bet you could find a bunch of cool what are they called? Where you like lenses, but for your eyes, you put them on your eyes.
Like contact lenses.
Contact lenses.
Yes.
It'd be cool if you took a bunch of different contact lenses, like I don't know, dragon eyes or something,
There are.
and then things like
There are
that. And then
actually like
since
that.
you have a lot of hair, you could get a bunch of hairspray and make it into something
Yes.
huge. I don't
You're
know.
totally
That's
right.
just a random idea. Like you can make really cool things, and then people will buy them.
Yeah,
If something's
that's actually one thing that we have to educate people as well, that it's not only about art that we can turn into NFT. There are lots of musicians nowadays that turning their music into NFT.
good.
So why not nail art? Why not anything that I also heard that there are some fashion designers that they turned their own fashion design, like clothing design, into NFT, which is really really good.
Yeah.
I think we have to we have to wrap up now or what?
Yeah.
We're going to be
Okay, you
ending.
stay.
Okay.
So we will be on the main stage
Hmm.
now.
I'm gonna have you switch out. I'll be right with you.
Someone.
He wants to interview someone. He's really good at the.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, Nathan, come sit down. Okay, you interview one, you have to wait. Go that way. All right, NFT.NYC. Hope you enjoyed the conversation with Malachi and Riza. Riza and I are getting ready to go MC the main stage. So get ready for that. Son, I'm gonna bring in Aaron. Last year, Professor Timothy Bates interviewed Aaron.
Yeah.
And he's with the Dow. So I'm gonna have him come sit down with you and kind of give you the insight on what's happened for him the last 14 months, and you guys can enjoy a conversation.
Awesome.
I'll be back again in just a moment. Aaron, come on over, my friend.
Hey, I guess I'm interviewing you.
Yes.
I just realized I really like that shirt.
Thank you.
Who is it?
I actually got it while I was in India. I just got it from a store out there.
Really?
Yeah, so
Wow,
it's
that's pretty
a
far.
representation of like my Jamaican culture, my Indian culture.
Yeah?
as well. Yeah.
Are you from Jamaica?
Yes.
Or is
yes.
it,
Yes.
yeah?
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah. Wait, so what is it exactly that you do?
Yeah. So I am a musician. I do reggae music, and also I am the Chief Growth Officer for Corium Community DAO. So what we do is we onboard people to Web3 through different means. And we have podcasts. We have
Oh, so
content
kind
on
of like
video.
an
Yes.
education thing.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's cool. What type of music do you make?
Reggae. Reggae
Yeah,
music. Yeah.
like the Jamaican sound.
Yeah. So it's not.
I love that kind of sound.
Yeah, what I do is I also try to create music that lifts people's vibration. So it's not
Yeah.
about like anything negative. I try to create
Yeah.
positivity.
I
through
realized
music.
that I feel like music recently has gone to a side of like just talking about negativity as a
Yeah,
pastime
yeah.
or as a way to say a lyric.
Yeah.
But there's also so much to talk about that's good.
Yeah, and in the past, like people who started music or were good at music back then, they used music to free people. They used music to bring awareness to issues. But
Yeah.
as you said today, it's a different scenario. And
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to bring that back. Where we
Yeah.
could use music because frequencies are powerful, and if you listen
Yeah.
to music, if you watch TV, whatever frequency you take in, it helps to reprogram who you are. So this is why it actually changes people's behavior, and if you could put something positive in that, it could
Yeah.
actually help society as a whole.
Who do you take your main inspiration from?
I take my main inspiration from people like Bob Marley.
Yeah.
His
I was
music is
just
still
humming a
timeless.
song in my head. I thought you were gonna say that.
Yeah, his music is timeless, and not just about the music. It's what he started through the movement. So
Mhm.
even today,
His positivity was
yes.
so amazing.
yeah, you listen to any song today from him, and you still feel it. You
Yeah.
know, you still
And
actually
you want to
gain
dance a
something. Yes.
little, and you want to
Yes.
hum to it too. Yeah.
Yes.
Is there anyone who has that power and positivity that you also look up to nowadays?
Ah, that's tough. There
Well,
are
that's what you're trying to do.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, and there's not many right now. Even some that are that seem that way. If you peel the layers back,
Yeah.
it has something that is not overall good. So I'm just trying in my own way to shape.
Yeah. You're trying to be the one I'm looking
Yeah,
for.
because I grew up in the church,
Yeah.
so I started doing music back then, the choir, and I learned music in terms of not just the sound, but how to write music,
Yeah.
and everything. So I have a great appreciation for, the art itself, the talent itself, and the effect that it can have.
Yeah. Yeah. Are there a lot of musicians in Jamaica?
Yeah, I mean, Jamaica is known for music.
Yeah.
So like every other person you probably meet on the street has
Yeah.
some type of talent musically. And that's something that a lot of labels or people who are like curators of music from around the world, they actually pick people from Jamaica, random people. Like they'll
Yeah.
source people because they have the talent, but they don't have the opportunity. So they'll give them a studio to record
Yeah,
in. and
opportunity
things
is
like
one of the I feel like the biggest struggles in today's society because there's so many people who have such a gift,
Yes.
but many of the times they don't have the platform or the money to be able to just make
that
it
is
happen.
true. That is
Like
true.
I was talking earlier about how plenty of people have a fantastic idea to make a company or
Yes.
to make a game or to make a song, but they don't have the way to get it to people or the way to just make it. I feel like something that's pretty motivating though is AI now with that.
Yes, I was I was on a
How have you been
panel.
handling AI happen in music?
Yeah, so what I've been doing for myself is I've been kind of merging tech, which is AI, and also NFTs with my music. So
Yeah.
as a musician, I'm not necessarily always involved in making the beats or the music part of except for the lyrics. So I use AI today and create some of the sounds that I would love to hear that sometimes producers take a while to actually get to.
Yeah.
And then I write lyrics to that and record it. So I've been using AI in that sense. I do music NFTs as well. I found that it's a very effective way as a musician, as anybody who's doing anything, to build a community and to reach people and to actually keep that community going and growing through tech.
I mean, music is such a massive industry. Like even in just Jamaica, there's so many people who make music.
Yes.
And with AI coming, it's honestly a little scary to think like it's genuinely going to be really hard to surpass it because it has all the knowledge that people have made. But people like you who are realizing that I can take this and really push myself forward. I don't have to slowly walk up the steps. I can climb a ladder.
Yes.
And that's something that I think you getting into is really going to be able to set you apart because
thank you.
Yeah.
And I look at social media today, and a lot of creators in Jamaica, outside of just music, we have streamers now, and they're taking AI. I've never seen okay, so I don't know if you know about VO3.
Yeah, dude, it is insane.
So that's what they're actually creating series of content, and you could watch a whole it's almost like a film now. They're using it to put these things together that are going super viral, and I'm actually proud of what they're using it for, empowerment, and positivity, and that's what I love.
That's
to see
awesome
people
to see.
use tech for,
Who are some notable people who are doing that? Because I feel like I've always been looking for people who are just crazy in their AI abilities, or who make these crazy VO videos. But
it's so new to me. I don't even know a lot of the creators. My brother is the one who has been showing me this stuff, and he's like, "Yo, check out this video." But I haven't gotten to following the creators themselves. But I've just been so blown away by what I'm experiencing. You've seen the videos of the people who have like say a cat or a dog or something interview people on the streets. Have you seen those?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah, so
have.
they've taken that to a whole different level,
Yeah.
like created like series of it. I'm like, how?
Yeah, like it's so funny to be scrolling or something, and then
Yeah.
you see a dinosaur interviewing someone.
Yeah,
It's like,
and then they use it now to create promotions for events and for businesses. So
Yeah,
that's where
I
it's going.
the whole advertising industry is completely going to be revamped. Like
Yes.
I've seen these
Yes.
videos. It's like they genuinely look like something I'd see
Yes.
on Times Square.
Can't tell
Like
it.
you can't tell a difference,
Can't tell
and
it.
also you're able to do things that would be really hard to do.
Yes.
So that's one of the main industries that I think is quickly going to be revamped.
Yes.
I was
yes.
wondering which of the like, kind of like AI music makers do you mainly see yourself using, or do you kind of dabble?
Well, right now I use Suno.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
That's
and
the biggest one,
the,
right?
the reason why is because in the fine print, having a subscription, that you get full commercial.
You're allowed to
usage,
use your
right.
stuff. Yeah.
So I could actually
That's
make
very
music.
important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could actually make music, put it out, and monetize it. So that's the reason why I use that one. I know there's others out there, but even with a subscription, they still say they like you don't you're
Yeah.
limited.
Yeah,
You
you're
have
limited.
to tag them, or you have to put to say that you use the platform. So it's good to read the fine prints with what AI is today. My panel that I spoke on yesterday was about NFTs, AI, and the paradox of ownership, and with regulations and everything.
Being able to own your stuff
yes,
is
it's very
the
very
reason this
important.
event exists
Yes.
right now.
Yes.
Yeah. What are some of like the big notable features of Suno that make it, or not even just Suno, but these AI music makers, but you use Suno?
The reason why, big features of the AI music makers is the ease of use and what you could do in seconds versus weeks or months.
Yeah.
So what I found with Suno that was different is that it gave me better sound, better quality sound. So now all I have to do is probably tweak how I want to mix and master it, and you have a full production that sounds like you took like months and years to put
amazing.
it together. Yeah,
It's so cool.
That's what I like about it.
I was I had tried to take like an artist and say make music like this guy, but it just said no.
Exactly.
How do you go about that? Because I was thinking earlier, like, yeah, you just type in make a song like Bob Marley, but it's like it just won't. So how do you go about that?
So what you do is you fuse genres together. So instead of the artist, the genres. So if you have a sound in mind, you would. How I do it is I put different genres or different like styles together without saying the artist, because it would be illegal to actually copy the artist itself.
I mean,
So
it
this
makes
is what
sense.
so I just fused the genres together, and I found that it actually gave me, if not spot on, very close to what I was looking for.
And then that way, I mean, and also you can use other AIs like ChatGPT for that.
Yes.
You can be like, what exact genres and micro genres does Bob Marley use? What exact genres and like things like that? And then you can even mix too. Like, I feel like it'd be kind of cool to listen to Bob Marley and like Eminem. Like, what would that sound like? And different things like that. That's one of the cool things.
Yes, and that's what I've been messing with. So with reggae, dancehall, Afrobeats, whatever the genre is, if I have an idea in mind to do a song, actually tag all those, and it would give me something, even trap, hip hop, put all of them together. And what I'm able to do now is like probably create stuff that is not out there yet. So this is the thing with AI today. It actually could give you something to start your own genre. You could actually.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So this is the moment we're in right now, and this is what I think a lot of artists and labels are missing is what can we create as the next standard, as the next genre, as the next sound. Like it's all possible right now.
How are you trying to set yourself apart from other people trying to do what you're doing?
So apart from just taking the raw output of what I get from AI, I add my own element to it.
Yeah.
So I craft the sound itself afterwards in the mixing process. But I also, if I need to put like tags or whatever it is in it, ad libs, whatever it is, I make it unique to my music and my genre.
Yeah, I think it's gonna take the like 1% that make amazing music and make them like 99% more songs, more better. And then it's gonna take the other 99%, and it's gonna be way harder for them unless they try and catch up. So it's good to see that you're really getting into it now while it's still kind of early.
And you see people like Timberland, who is actually um, creating and making AI artists music. And he's actually making music.
AI artists.
Yeah, so he has
That's
AI
cool.
artists he's putting out. I know a few years ago, like in 2020, either him or Dr. Dre, I don't remember which of the two, but they had a band, an AI band. And what they were doing is the PFPs from like Bored Ape or whatever it was,
Yeah.
was the face of these
Oh, that's
artists.
a cool idea.
Yeah, so
I mean, there's so many cool things you can do by
Yes.
mixing all the things that have come up.
yes,
Yeah. The recent, I feel like tech in general has been just completely blown up in these past like just few years.
yeah,
Especially with all the AI stuff happening, and then with NFTs having the massive boom they did a few years ago. And the thing with NFTs is like they're so inevitable.
yes.
It's like even though they're going to have up and down cycles, it doesn't change the fact that being able to own your digital assets
Yes.
is just so vital. Like tons of people own like a house or own a
Yeah.
car, and that's an asset that you have. But being able to now own digital assets that can be just as valuable, it's so vital.
Yeah, and what I found with this tech itself, NFTs, yes, as a programmable asset, so you could actually make it unique to what you want that product or asset to be.
Yeah.
And short term and long term. So you could program it for the life of the NFT or the token.
Mhm.
But at the platform that I'm built on is called Corium. So the Corium community DAO uses the Corium technology, and what they have that any other blockchain doesn't have is smart tokens. What smart tokens is you actually program the asset at the code level. So instead of adding an additional smart contract, which you can actually do, the smart contract is in the token already. So you have compliance layers.
So
that you
instead
could
of
put in.
having your smart contract and your asset
Yeah.
separate, it just embeds them
It's
together.
together at the protocol level. So now, like with enterprise use cases, you could now create, like say, if you need to build a platform where you require KYC, AML, certain thresholds before you can get in, you could actually program that into the token. So if you have say, think about aid relief, right? A disaster happened.
About what?
Aid. Like a disaster
Ah.
happened and they need to send funds or
Mhm.
relief money to this area or this country. That money can only be programmed to buy whatever it is.
Yeah.
It can't buy anything else.
Oh my gosh, it's so useful.
You get what I'm saying?
Oh, wow, I see what you're saying.
Yes.
It's crazy there's not something like that already.
Right. So
Yeah, it's cool to see you guys are making it.
yeah, so there's just tons of use cases that could spawn from just a token or a protocol like that, and they're actually partnering with financial institutions right now to utilize that at the highest level. Right now, it's the only working bridge to the XRP ledger, so back and forth you could take any native asset from XRP into Cosmos, into Ethereum, and soon Solana, and back and forth. So if you need a compliance layer for your project, run it through Corium, put it on Corium, and then because the new messaging standard starts in like July 14th, it's called ISO 222, where all financial institutions are going to be required to speak that language, or else you can't actually play in the game. So that is written at the code level on Corium. So anything you build on Corium already is ISO 222 compliant.
So what is the name again? Tell it to the camera.
So Corium Community DAO built on Corium, the protocol blockchain.
How do you spell that? Corium?
COREUM. Corium.
EUM.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like Ethereum, but Corium.
Yeah. All right. Well, it was really good talking to you. I think we got to wrap up soon.
Yes. Thank you,
Aaron.
much.
That was really awesome.
Thank you.
Dude, thanks.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, everybody. That was Aaron. It's always good to have Aaron come in. I'm going to bring in our young guy Nathan and his mom Riza for one moment, and then I'll bring in Emily Lazar, who is arguably the most successful NFT musician in the world, for Malachi to interview. Malachi, let Nathan sit right there. Riza, come on over, honey. Come. Nathan wants. Okay. 1 second. Come.
I can interview. Um, what app is good for children to use NFT and mint?
Just in creating digital art, of course, it's Procreate, and there are also some other available apps. But for minting, there are also many apps that they can use, and of course, the best one is Attention Live.
If
Go
if
closer.
if children like can children mint on their own?
I don't think so because
Like if they know how to do.
even though they know how to do, if you are 18 years old below, you really have to have your MetaMask account or any kind of digital wallet. And once you got your MetaMask, the only people who can get a MetaMask account are 18 years old and above. So you can ask parents to use MetaMask, to use their MetaMask to mint their digital art.
Is NFT good
Go
for
closer.
is NFT good for children? Like what you made? Like what you minted? I mean, like what you minted for my art. Like, is it good for children?
Absolutely, absolutely, of course. It's really good for children. Number one, it would help children to how do you call that? Like their digital arts will not be just sitting in their iPads. It'll be more useful, and not only that, that's also the best way to show to the public, to the people around the world about your digital art.
How would you rate a scale of 1 to 10, 1 to 100 of um of of the art turning of your art, like children's art turning into um m- you minting your
To
children's
NFT,
art?
turning to NFT,
Huh?
turning to NFT.
Yes.
I mean, of course, 100. 100, because like what I've told you, it'll be more useful. They're using their art to be more useful, and one of the useful ways is that turning their arts into NFT.
I have a fun question.
What is that?
Do you like Shibas?
Of course, I love Shiba Inu, or that dog Shiba, because so cute. And just a while ago, we saw one guy here with that dog. Its name is Toby, and it really
Kobe.
looks Kobe or
And
Toby.
Toby.
So it really looks like 100% Shiba. It's an American Shiba dog.
Yeah. Is any it's like Web3 AI or Attention Live, Kiki or Crisis King or Shiba, like stickers, are good for children. Like, can they search it up and look at stuff?
Yes, of course. Like you already have them. You already collected all of them, right? So yeah.
We're not done yet. Or did you just throw my paper airplane away?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you interview me.
Yeah. You will be interviewing a woman.
No, you will be interviewed.
So you will interview her.
No, you'll interview me.
We're done now.
Bye.
So what can you tell about children who are creating their digital art?
What can I tell?
Yeah. What can you tell children who are turning their
Like,
digital art
it's
into
evolution.
NFT?
It's
Okay.
evolution.
Why
Like,
it's evolution?
yeah, it's like because if they so the first art like when I made like remember when I used to love Transformers, the robot. Um, I always used to draw robots, and it was just like a huge scribble. So um after that I grew older. Like when I was 6 year old, I got to draw very good. Like mom, you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm a very good sketcher and artist. Like I traced Luffy.
You're right. I have a kid that I want you to interview. Hold on. I'll just get her.
Which one, honey? Well, not right now.
All right now.
You're kids. I love it.
Regina, Nathan wants to interview your daughter.
No, my mom wants me to interview.
Yeah.
Come here. Regina, why don't you come with her? And I'll go with her.
And I'll be with Nathan.
No, mom, you be with her. You be with her.
I'll be with you.
Okay.
Mom and kid.
Mom and kid.
Yeah,
Sure.
mom and kid.
Sure, mom and kid.
Come on, Regina. Moms.
Mom.
Ask the easy question.
You can sit down here.
See, you're just
Sit down here. He's gonna talk. Yeah. There you go.
You come right here.
Yeah.
Hello. So her name is Aria. So this is Nathan. Hi, Aria. Do you also like drawing on Procreate?
I'm just gonna move you in, kiddo.
There's a business card.
Does she like drawing on Procreate?
Does she like?
Wow. So what do you love to draw?
What's your favorite thing to draw?
Cat? Oh, Nathan also loves cats. Well, you tell Aria.
I also like to draw cats, but I usually trace out some stuff. No, I don't trace out cats. I trace out like anime stuff, like One Piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, I trace out One Piece.
Owen's really into that too.
So what do you want to ask Aria as an artist? She's also an artist. She's creating digital. What do you want to?
Do you want to be a speaker when you grow up in NFT.NYC? You don't?
Are you too shy?
How about
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you have any question for Nathan? Because he's creating digital art, and yesterday in my talk, I presented his drawings. I show it to the
I've done the
public.
Luffy one.
Yes. So, what do you want to ask Nathan? Nathan, you listen. She has a question.
What?
Was he nervous for everybody to see all of his art? So a lot of people got to see it, right?
Yes. So, what can you teach Aria as a digital artist? Tell her.
You can use ChatGPT. It's safe for children also. Like what I always use, I use ChatGPT all the time. Or Midjourney. Midjourney is like an AI where you can create AI images. Like what me and him did.
Yes.
Yeah, we did Midjourney and like we did everything and then we're done.
Would you like to do that? Would you like to try it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, any other question for Aria? More questions? You have more questions as a kid.
Why are you doing like this? You're gonna crack my neck soon.
Sorry. Okay, what do you want to ask the Aria?
I don't know.
You don't know. You're done with the question?
No, I'm not. I'm not
You're
done.
not done
I'm
yet?
still thinking.
How about to mommy? What do you want to ask mommy Regina?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Maybe you can ask.
Oh, I can ask.
Okay.
All right. So
Let me
as
get
a,
a feather.
as a mom, how do you actually support your child, especially Aria who loves to draw?
Yes.
How do you support her to be more inspired in creating more art? And to be so that he will be also more inspired to be an artist someday.
Right. So Aria has liked art since she was little bitty, right? She's always had a lean towards art, towards drawing, towards being super creative. So we just kind of foster that kind of environment, bringing, like things around when we traveled and stuff like that, all kinds of art supplies so that she's able to explore and draw, and yeah. So we just try to foster her creative light. She likes it. She liked it. It's just her in her. So
Yeah, so in this kind of event, you know, I rarely see people with the family. And just like you as a family, so can you please tell me how does it actually help to children like Aria and your other teenager kid
yeah.
as a family able for whenever you are going with Curtis in events?
Mom, I have a question for you.
Later. So let's
So
hear
I
it.
think it's really important for them to see people going after their dreams and going after like their God-given talents.
Yes.
And so for the kids to be involved and to watch, you know, they get to watch us when we fail, or they get to watch us when we succeed. And so I think it's super important for them to see not just, you know, daddy goes to work and then we never see what that looks like, but we're inviting them along on the journey. And so I think it's really important so that hopefully one day they step out and they go after, they don't just settle with like the 9 to 5 or just the traditional things that everyone does, but they actually go after the things that inspire them and that make them feel like they're doing their purpose. So that's why we bring them along. That's why we encourage them to be a part of everything. And we don't shy away from when they're asking questions. It can be hard. Traveling with kids is hard.
Especially you have a baby.
Yes, we do. But it's very important for them to be along on the journey. What do you think? You like that daddy travels and you get to come? Yeah.
Okay, what's your question? I have a question for Aria. So you said you love drawing cats, right? So if you will be given a chance to like show it to the public, like on a stage in this kind of event, so what other arts do you want to show? Let's hear from Aria first. Are there any types of animals that you also love to draw aside from cats?
I love to draw like all different types of animals.
Wow. So aside from cat, what else the other animal that you recently just drew?
Let me guess, dog.
No, what did you draw yesterday? A reindeer?
Oh wow, I would love to see that.
Yeah. She was practicing drawing a reindeer, the antlers.
I've been trying to draw Mojo.
So yesterday when I presented Nathan's art, all of them are different kinds of animals. There is also a bubble, there's also some shapes.
No, the bubble is not an animal.
Yeah, I know. I said there are also some
And
bubbles.
plus, I still have a question.
Okay, what's your question?
How old was Rainbow when she started doing drawing?
I think she's very, very young. She's like teenage, same age as same age as you. Yeah, she's 17 years old now.
That's not an adult.
Yeah, almost.
Almost.
All right, thank you very much, Aria, for your time.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
I still have to interview. Mom.
Hey, because we're going to. It's 1:40. Come on now.
You can. All right. NFT.NYC. Thanks for sticking with us. If you just tuned in recently, my name is Ian Utile. Emily, you can come take a seat. And I've been a partner to NFT.NYC since it was an idea back in 2018. I've had the joy of getting to know you, Emily, over the course of the last several years. Emily is arguably the most successful NFT musician in the world. She was the first hard rock musician to ever mint an NFT. I've bought many of her NFTs. I'm a supporter. This is my oldest son, Malachi, who's 16. And he'll be sitting here doing a lot of the interviews for the next several hours as my wife, Riza, and I transition to the main stage and MC. I'll be back and forth. I got the one wheel, so it's easy to, I don't have to sprint. I can just roll. But for now, I thought it'd be nice, Malachi, for you to get to know Emily, her band, September Morning. Morning, not like the sun rising, morning like being sad, MOURNING. And so enjoy the conversation, the two of you. Yeah. And again, we're live on NFT.NYC's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and X. For those watching live, thank you for your attention. For those that watch in a week, or in 150 years.
Still, thank you.
Which
for
is
your
maybe just so AI in the future. Hope you enjoy the conversation.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I say that sometimes.
Sentient AI in the future.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, I imagine most people already know about who you are, but I guess you could just give a little intro to what is September Morning.
So September Morning is a transmedia project. Do you know what transmedia is?
Nope.
Okay, we're going to educate you today.
Okay.
We need to educate you. So transmedia it's got multimedia. It's like a central storyline or a character builds
Okay, I see
out
what
your
you're
world.
saying. Okay.
You
Yeah.
know? So let's take Harry Potter. I'm sure you know
Yeah.
what Harry Potter is, right? So
Wait, what's Harry? I'm just kidding.
don't even do that to me. Then I'm really old. Okay, so Harry Potter central story, and then they built the like Harry Potter experience at Universal Studios, and then they did trading cards and the comic books.
Yeah.
So it's a transmedia story.
And you guys have the graphic novel and then the music.
Exact. Now you're getting it. So that's what we do with metal music and comic books and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, I got to see some of the comic books. They look really cool and professional.
Yeah, it's Image Comics. We work with Image Comics and Top Cow Comics and Mark Silvestri, who is basically like the legend in comic books. He's one of the big six in comics. And if you don't know his work, you should look it up. You'd probably love it a lot. Yeah, he's my business partner on the comics. And it's great.
That's awesome. I was curious, where did the name September Morning come from?
September Morning the whole concept of the band came from something really tragic that I went through. Remember we were talking about experience?
Was it in September?
It was in September. I lost like one of my best friends in the whole wide universe. And it was very detrimental to my mental health. And in order to deal with it, I created a character that was a Reaper human hybrid that could take souls and give people second chances at life in other people's bodies because I wanted to bring my friend back. So I did a homage basically story of like this Reaper human hybrid that can, give somebody a second chance. I was hoping, I could, do that for my
I mean,
friends,
a lot of,
do that.
I don't mean to say that it's good or something, but in the sense that like a lot of good has come from you creating this because of a tragic incident.
Well, a lot
Sometimes
of art,
negativity can be taken and make positivity in a way.
100%. A lot of art does that. A lot of art is from tragedy. It's from, like we were talking before, it's from human experience that has an emotional component that is so strong that it makes you like feel and do something visceral in an artistic form, and that's what this did to me. So, and it's become my livelihood for the last 10 years.
Have you always done music like your whole life?
No, I was a ballerina. That was what I was supposed to do. Yeah, I was supposed to be a ballerina. But then I fell down a marble staircase and like broke a bunch of bones at 18, and that was the end of that career. But I accidentally kind of got into music. I was discovered I was working the door at a club, and I was discovered, and I was asked to come down and audition for something, and I got it, and that was my first signing. So
and this happened and that happened. Now you're here.
And now I'm here. Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's another spot where something that seemed like it was tragic in the end of everything.
Well, COVID brought me here, right? Because as a touring rock musician,
you basically just can't do anything.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
But then NFTs are like, oh, I can still own people's music. Whoa, that's sick. I should totally do this.
And you can you could do utility based stuff. So my first NFT, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's actually the comic book.
I think I probably have.
Yeah.
I think my dad showed me.
Yeah, so the first NFT was Awake the Dead NFT on OpenSea. And this is when OpenSea, nobody was on OpenSea. Nobody
when it was still just a baby.
We were like, it was like me, Devin, the owner, and my Bitcoin friend in a private chat room on Clubhouse talking to Devin. And Devin's like, come on OpenSea. And I was like, what? And it's like, and he's like, we'll put a banner up. It'll be great. And I was like, okay. I didn't know what it was. I was like, what is this? And so we did that, and it sold out like that. And I was like, wow.
What was the utility that you?
So the utility on that was like, if you bought my NFT, and this remains to this day, if you buy the NFT, you get a free like backstage pass meet and greet at our shows. So if you come to the show naturally, you come see us on tour. We just did an 8-week tour. So if you come see us on tour, awesome. 8 weeks, crazy. We can talk about that. But if you come see us on tour, then you can like present the NFT to our merch girl, and she'll be like, okay, and she'll
get the band together, and then
okay.
you go hang out with the band in the back and drink a beer. It's like,
Yeah,
well, no,
that's
you
so
don't drink a
cool.
beer, but like if we drink a beer,
You get to be with them, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You just hang out, you know.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome. Yeah, that's a really, really good idea for utility.
yeah, and we started that from the jump. Like
Yeah.
that wasn't like, oh, later down the. It was like from the jump. I had that utility because I knew, or I thought that this is how it should be. That you have to like connect the real world with these things. You
Yeah.
have to have that through line with
Yeah.
reality.
It lets you
know?
actually, in a very unique way that hasn't been seen before, engage with your community.
Exactly.
And plus, then they become like hardcore fans. and they
That's
really
what you
wanna
want.
read it. Yeah.
You want a cult. You don't
Yeah.
want like fans. You want a cult. You want like cult mentality. Drink the Kool-Aid, you know, wear the
Yeah.
Nikes. You want that kind of like mentality because that's how you grow as a band. That's how you
Yeah.
grow as an artist, you know? Those people tell other people and it
Yeah.
spreads like a virus, you know?
How long have you and your bandmates been screaming and playing on stage?
It's been about 10 years of touring, minus the 3 years of like COVID,
Yeah.
you know, like that kind of put a chink in our armor. But yeah, it's been a decade of this. And it's, you know, we started because rock bands, it's very hard to make a living unless you're on the road, you know?
Yeah.
So we were doing like 8 months out of the year touring.
Whoa.
It was a grind.
That's your life.
It was a grind. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was the life. It was the grind. But we garnered like some really cultish fan base, you know, of like this very underground.
People who
because,
drive
yeah.
with you for 8 months.
Yeah, I mean, we've had people follow us from city to city, and
Yeah.
like, you know, we get lots of gifts on tour. Like, I went through this phase where I was really into Darth Vader. I'm still very into Darth Vader. but, like,
Darth Vader is a
Darth
very,
Vader
very
is-
powerful character.
Darth Vader is
The
the
whole
goat.
Star Wars story is just so cool.
It's so cool. I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah.
So everybody was bringing me Darth Vader stuff. Like, so I got back from tour, my whole bunk was Darth Vader.
Yeah.
It was like, I had Darth Vader plushies and like a coffee mug and like a, you know, air freshener.
Yeah.
And like,
Air freshener.
Yeah, which we needed because
Which we actually needed.
It stunk in our bus. But yeah, I mean, there was like, I had Darth Vader.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah. It's amazing when you have so many people that are a cult fan base.
Yeah.
How did you guys start as a band and meet each other?
So I've been through a rotation of members, but
Yeah.
this one is kind of the final one. And,
Yeah.
Because sometimes as a band, like you have to go through the people because you don't really know if it's gonna last. From
And
the
you still don't know if they're the one who's there for you.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you know, they become your family.
Yeah.
Like your brothers, your
I
sisters.
mean, 8 months is a lot of time to be spending with them.
It's a lot of time. We just did 8 weeks on the road, and
Yeah.
that was a lot of time. That was a lot of time. So, yeah.
How did you guys, was it you who first sparked making a band and you brought people you knew?
Yeah, so like I said, I started it from a tragic incident.
Yeah.
And the comic books, like the storyline started first. The band didn't start first,
Yeah.
the story. And then once the story was kind of like put together, then I started writing music and
Yeah.
experimenting with sound.
When
And it
you
wasn't
made
like-
your story part, did you know and you had in mind, okay, I'm gonna make music with this too? Or was it kind of just,
Yeah. It was transmedia from the jump. It didn't start like a band with
wow, that's a big idea to have from right away.
Well, that stemmed from, again, the tragedy of
Yeah.
the music business itself. Because at that point, streaming was like really taking hold. People
Yeah.
were not paying for music anymore.
Yeah.
CDs were kind of like, you know, like,
Yeah.
so I was like, okay, wait a minute. So you
How
want me
can
to
I
be a
still
musician?
get this to work?
Yeah, you want me to be a musician, but we're not selling music anymore.
Yeah.
So like, what kind of business model is that? So I thought to myself, I was like, I need to do a project where there's all this other integral stuff that I can, you know, cost basis on. So
Yeah.
that's how I came up.
Are your NFTs one of ones or one
I
of
have
many?
some one of ones, and then I have some like series, and then I have some like I have a PFP project of 1,000 different.
You
like,
got a lot of stuff
September-
going on.
Oh yeah, I know. 11 different platforms. I'm on 11. different
11?
Yeah. 11.
Wait, what do you mean by you're on 11 different platforms?
So different
Elaborate on that.
collections on
Different collections.
different
Okay.
platforms.
Yeah. So one will be OpenSea.
See,
and
and
one-
one
yeah,
would be
okay, I
like,
see.
you know, whatever. Yeah. So Yeah.
Wow.
Gala music is another one that was big for us.
Are the comic books still really big, or is it mainly the music that has popped off?
No, it's both. It's like the comics. We sold about 100,000 books so far, which is pretty good for an independent. Sort of.
Yeah, that's pretty. 100,000 is a lot of people.
Yeah, globally, it's kind of crazy, and we have 3 new books coming out soon. So
Yeah.
like,
How many do you have already?
We have 4 books, 1 graphic novel.
Mm.
Yeah.
3 new is going to be a lot. That's awesome.
We've been working on the story for 2 years.
It's going to be a good one then.
Yeah, no, it's going to be amazing. I've learned a lot in the past couple of years about writing and storylines and just doing it a certain way that's really going to make it pop off and maybe translate to other forms of media, which is very important for us.
Are you guys still eyeing other ideas besides just comic and music?
Yeah, I mean, we do have merch, we do have video, we do have like, we have all different like collabs with different like companies and things like that. But like, yeah, we're definitely eyeing other forms of media to like really expand the storyline and garner a larger audience. Because I think the IP in itself, if you don't know what September Morning is about, it's this human reaper hybrid who takes souls and gives people second chances at life by putting their soul in somebody else's body. And in doing so, she messes with the creator of the universe, who's called Fate. And Fate is like, wait, what are you doing? Like, so you're changing these timelines and this thing. And so Fate sends all these reapers after her to stop her. And it becomes this giant war between the living and the dead. So it's like very fantasy driven. And I think there's a big market for
You mentioned that it's a lot like Lord of the Rings.
Well, it's not like as far as fantasy is.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, but it's not like it's not the One Ring will control
I was
it
like,
all.
wait, how
is it like Lord of the
Rings?
Rings?
Yeah, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Is it still just you writing it, or have your bandmates decided to start helping you?
My band, no, they don't really partake
That's
in that
more your
side.
thing.
That's more me, and then I have some other like writing people that
Yeah.
we're kind of like collabing.
In a way,
on.
you yourself are the IP.
I am. Yeah, there you go.
That's a pretty cool position to be in. That's very rare.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's all like we were saying, it's all from experiences, right? It's all drawing on all of this life that I've had.
Yeah.
And creating things from it. So yeah.
Where do you get your inspiration from? People-wise, like for metal bands.
Oh, from metal bands? Oh, wow. Like I grew up on like Glassjaw. You probably don't know that band, but
I think I've heard of them.
Okay,
but I haven't
Glassjaw's
listened to a lot of their music.
Yeah, Glassjaw's awesome. Dillinger Escape Plan. Don't know if you know them.
Maybe.
Yeah, Norma Jean is a great band. There's Periphery. Bring Me the Horizon. You probably know those guys.
I think so.
Yeah. They're pretty cool.
Metal has been a huge thing for a long time.
Metal has been a huge thing for all time. Like it's like, one of those things that kind of like came into existence and just.
When did it start?
Oh, I don't even know. Like a long time before we were born. But it's continued. But again, metal is a thing where it's very cultish.
Mm-hmm.
So metalheads are metalheads for life. They don't like switch. I think that you see in today's musical like formats and things
it's
like
very
that.
Common for people to be, oh, well, I like pop. Actually, no, I like hip hop. Actually, no.
No, I like EDM or they're just flipping around and not really cultish on anything. But if you talk to anybody that's into like, I don't know, Pantera or like, Metallica or like those guys have like been in metal from like day one. Like they're like their whole teens, 20s, 30s, 40s on up is metal, so it's a very cultish sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which lends well to what I do. So I wanted to be in that genre because it does speak to that,
Yeah. And there's a lot of people who really, really are into it. It's a cult.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think that metal type things and rock are similar in some ways? Because I've listened to a lot of rock, like with my grandparents and stuff.
Rock and metal is kind of on it's the same sort of genre in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, metal's just heavier.
Metal's just louder.
And louder
screaming.
There's a lot of screaming in metal. Like there's a lot of anger. Like everybody's pissed.
Yeah.
But we do hard rock. I mean, we're kind of hard rock metal like amalgamation basically. We've done stuff on radio. We've been played on the radio.
Radio.
And you're like, what's radio?
No, have you guys ever done things that are like live radio? I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, we've done like some acoustic stuff.
Yeah.
Like we've done stuff like that for radio stations. But pre-pandemic. But like radio
Yeah.
is still kind of like Sirius satellite radio is still a big thing in metal.
I know. I was quite surprised that radio is still kind of big. It's still
for this genre, it still moves the needle. Like
Yeah.
Sirius satellite
in plenty of
Octane.
different things. It's actually
Yeah.
bigger than I expected to be.
Yeah, it's crazy how many people, especially satellite radio. I think
Really?
satellite radio is kind of like where it's at right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Sirius Octane and things like that.
It's
Hard
funny thinking of someone in their car just screaming and slamming their head on the walls.
Wait,
listening
I
to
mean,
metal.
wouldn't that be great? Instead of like pulling out a gun and shooting somebody.
Yeah, that's a better way to get your anger out.
Better way to get your anger
So
out.
if you're angry, go listen to some metal music.
There you go. You're angry at the market, go listen to.
Yeah.
If you're trading, like I love when I'm trading. If I'm trading a meme coin, I'm listening to metal because like I know that shit's gonna rug. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
yeah,
it's interesting to see how so many almost different forms of gambling have emerged throughout these.
God,
Like,
yeah.
it's like, okay, well, you can make money because of NFTs. Okay, I'm just gonna buy all these, and then it's kind of like just putting coins in the slot machine. Then it's like,
Yeah.
meme coins. Okay, I'll put coins in these coins, and then this one dings, and all these fail. Like, it's
Yeah.
weird how people for just forever have always leaned towards finding different ways to gamble.
Well, I mean, the promise of making a lot of money off a very little amount
Yeah,
is like
it's so tempting.
yeah. I mean, that's why the lottery does so well.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, people do.
Isn't it having like a
scratch-offs.
record high right now? It's at like 350 million.
Oh, I don't know.
I
In New
don't know.
York,
I saw it
maybe,
the
I
other
don't know.
day,
Yeah,
but
I mean that's crazy.
it's just crazy to see that happen. Things
Yeah.
when people see a lot of money, it's easy to want it.
Well, I think in this economy right now, especially because we're going through a really weird place in the market, like in
Yeah.
the economy, and like a lot of people don't have a lot of spending power right now.
Yeah.
Like they're kind of like on a limited budget. Like I don't know if you know about housing right now, but like I mean the myriad age of buying a house now is like 50 or something. It used to be
Yeah.
like 25.
Yeah,
Like,
it's crazy to think about that.
like even our parents were like buying their houses like, you know, at a younger age. And
Mhm.
now it's like people can't get into houses, you know,
Yeah.
it's just too expensive. Like they don't have the income, even with 2 income families, it's like it's hard. And
Do
have
you
kids,
guys?
it's like, ugh.
Do you and your band kind of live in a bus and just move around,
I
or is
mean,
it like you?
I have my own apartment.
Yeah, you do. Okay.
Yeah, I mean everybody lives in their own respective
Okay.
places. So-
Yeah, I was just kind of
You know,
curious.
it's
Like, how does that work?
Yeah, like so our band is fractionalized like all over the United States. So like
Okay.
I'm in California, my drummer's in like
We're in California because it's basically 3 different states at this point.
Pretty
It
much.
has been for like forever.
oh,
I
yeah,
was
crazy.
I was quite surprised that it hadn't been split. Because
Really?
if any state was going to be split, I feel like it'd be either
California?
northern and south. Like,
No,
because
put up a wall like
Yeah,
the Berlin Wall.
just
or
put
like
up a
this.
Berlin Wall. We don't like you.
We don't like you. Stay over there.
yeah, we're over in the Bay Area in Santa Cruz, which is like smack dab in the center. I wonder if I would be the wall.
Yeah, you should just build the wall.
Just build the
There
wall
you go.
yourself.
You can do that today. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean, I'm in Los Angeles, so I'm in Southern California. So I'm on the other side of the wall.
Yeah, there's a lot of people
Yeah.
doing music there.
Yeah. I mean, it used to be a little bit more active than it is now, but
Yeah.
but it kind of switches coasts every couple of years. It goes from New York to LA to New York to LA.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it really is. It's kind of crazy.
And also
but,
Nashville too.
Nashville has been a big up
I guess that's
and
place
coming place.
consistent though. That's
For
always
country,
booming.
for country, it's huge. It's always
yeah.
been huge, but now it's kind of like all these other genres are
Yeah.
partaking in it.
They find a
it's
spot.
like, yeah,
I mean, like Jamaica is huge for like their specific kind of sound.
exactly.
Like there's plenty of places like that.
Exactly.
Music is a part of culture.
It is a part of culture.
Yeah.
It drives culture.
Music is culture. I mean,
Music is
you guys have
culture.
your whole own culture you've
Yeah.
created.
It's
That's pretty cool. I think.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like its own like cult sort of thing.
So we were talking earlier about how I kind of startled you when I mentioned AI. But
Oh, boy.
how are you handling AI being something that is emerging right now?
You know, it's interesting because
Yeah.
this is the progression of the world. You know,
Mhm.
this is, and when people are like, oh, you know, we shouldn't be doing that. We should not be doing it. It's like,
I mean, it's easy to be resistant when something is so
New?
quick and so changing.
Yeah.
Change is it's hard sometimes, but
But technology is here to change
Yeah.
it. Okay, why are we on this planet? I'm going to ask you that question. Why
Well,
are
that's a
we
big
here?
question.
It's actually a very simple question. Why are we here?
Well, that gets into things like religion and stuff, but I'd say for me, I don't know. What do you say?
Wait a minute. I asked you.
Okay.
So what comes to mind? Like when you're like, why am I here? Like, what's the first thing that pops into your mind? First thing.
Well, I think the first thing that pops in mind is my faith.
Okay, so like it's a religious, it's that.
But I don't think it's just that. I think that I exist as me. I think I'm unique and that I have something to offer this world.
Okay, so based on that, what I would say to you, and I think that you would agree with me on that, we are here to evolve. That's why we're here. Period. End of story. We are here to evolve. Now, if that's
Cultures are always evolving.
yeah, everything's evolving. You know, everything, even this table is disintegrating at a very minuscule amount, but like it is disintegrating. Like everything is in flux. We're all in flux. We're all evolving, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like what you were saying is like you're here to offer something to the world. You are here to evolve into something that brings something.
I'm here to evolve the world.
Exactly. So that is the why. Okay. So once you understand your why, you can kind of like conform your life.
Each
around
person can have a different why.
it's a different layer of the why, but the why is evolution. So AI is part of evolution, right? It's a layer of the
Well, AI is our next step right now.
It's a step into evolution. Like, where do you think we're going to be in like 20 years, like with AI?
Well, I think that
like, what do you think
in 20 years, AI is probably going to have. I mean, I think it's not even going to be AI at that point. It's kind of just going to be robots. Something my dad said like a few weeks ago was that he saw something that soon we're probably going to have 16 billion consumers. And it's like, wait, there's not 16 billion people in the world. That's because AI and robots are going to start taking things themselves. And then it's going to even go from there. Like 24 billion, then 32, and then it's just going to keep going because robots are going to be so vital, and at some point they're just going to become like us in a way. It's interesting to see that now we are making other versions of kind of us.
So what you're saying then is that we're playing God.
No, I think that we are.
Because aren't we making something in our image?
I feel like it can be said that way, but I think I have a soul, and that makes me different from an AI robot that will ever exist.
Okay, so what is your definition of a soul? Like, how would you define your soul? Like, what is your soul?
I think I would define my soul as the part that makes me me.
Okay. Like your emotions, your experience? Is that
no, not my emotions.
Okay.
The internal part that before I even have experience makes
so you're like
me
essence.
me.
Yeah. Almost your essence. Okay. That's interesting. So because I look at AI and I look at computers and I look at our brain.
Because those are only modeled. If you take just a base like model or something.
Okay.
And then you give it all this experience, now you could say it's kind of itself and it has some kind of identity. And everything has identity and will have identity.
Yeah.
Robots and AI aren't just going to be replicas of each other.
No.
They're going to want to find their own identity. They still are able to
sentient.
want things.
They're going to want to be sentient.
I don't know if they'll be sentient. Honestly, I don't think anyone is ever going to know.
Yeah.
No, in many things like religion, most people don't.
Nobody knows.
Nobody
we haven't
knows
died and come back.
But
yeah.
I think it's possible it could be, but I don't know. There's plenty of things like that where
the whole universe
it's easy
is like that.
It's easy to want to be like, oh well, I know this and I know that, but well, honestly, I don't.
So my whole philosophy on this stuff, not to get too deep, but we'll go a little deep here. So your brain, right, is set up with neural pathways, and that's how you.
That's our like neural network in a way.
Yeah, it's neural networking. Guess what does that to computers? Do that.
Yeah.
Right? Our brain.
We're just making things.
Is a computer.
Like,
that's why I said we're making things in our image.
We're making things the way we've already found them in nature. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like how.
So we're playing
when China
God.
was making big trains, the ones that were going really, really fast.
Yeah.
They had this magnetic technology that made it be able to just go lightning speed, but it would push all this air right in front of the train, and then when it would like get out of a tunnel or something, it would just make a massive sonic boom and like blow things up basically.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, how do we counter this?
Right.
And so they looked to nature, and they
Yeah.
saw these birds that when they were going really fast and diving into water, they wouldn't have a flat head that would
Right.
just ram into the water.
No, of
They
course
had
not.
a really long pointy head. And so then they adapted the trains to have a long pointy edge that would be able
So
to
it
kind of
cut
slice
through
the air.
cut through the air, and then
Yeah.
be able to like, yeah.
And there's plenty of things
Mitigate
like that where people have looked to nature to find ways to be able to make things work.
Yeah, and we look to our brains to find ways to make this
AI work.
AI.
And our bodies to make robots. I mean,
Yeah.
it just keeps going.
It keeps going. It keeps going. But as I was with the brain thing, which is interesting. So so emotions, like, I don't know what you believe in it. Like if you love something or you're in love, you know, like you have to understand that feeling that you get is a chemical reaction, like and layered with emotion, but emotions are based in chemicals and things that go on in your brain and your neural pathways, which is carved through different situations that you've experienced, and you're, you know, garnering things from your memories, and it all kind of mixed up in a soup, and that's what you call love. But so all of those things that I just said can be replicated, because they can. Like you can replicate, you can you know, have serotonin. We can replicate these things. Like we can replicate different ways of moving through things. Like we can replicate memories. Like once we can do all of that, right? What stops? And if you can implement all of that you've replicated, and you put that into a robot, what stops that robot from not having a soul and not being human?
Well, I feel like that makes me think of the question of, if we are making something in, you could say, our image, then what's making us in their image? That's kind of where my mind
there
goes
might be
personally.
another planet out there that's been coming back here. There's been a lot of people saying they've been abducted by aliens. Like apparently there's lizard people on the internet. So
I saw that thing too. Yeah.
I mean, who knows? But yeah. I mean, there's
people over the centuries have come up with their own. It's funny how I feel like recently the idea of there being no God or thing like that has started to become more well known.
Yes, of course.
But it's something.
Atheism?
It's something. Yeah. It's something people have done as societies for as long as we've ever existed. We've always wanted to come up with what made me, why am I out there? And in a way, I feel like it's kind of our souls that ask us that. Like, I personally don't see robots, if we threw them onto a planet or something and didn't tell them where we came from. I don't see them trying to find out what made them. Like, I kind of just see them making things happen. Like they'd take a Mars and turn it into an Earth, and they would do it much more efficient than us.
Would that change if we replicate them to the degree that our brains are? If we literally can replicate in
well, what is it about humanity that made it always, from centuries ago, want to search for some kind of creator?
Because we want to know where we want to know the why. Like we talk about why, right? We talked about why we evolved. That's our why, right? Like, so because the way that our brains are set up, we want to know point A and point B.
Well, is it the way that our brains are set up?
I believe so. I believe that it has something to do with the hippocampus. It has something to do with the way that our brains are structured, the neural pathways are carved. Like, I think some people are a little bit more like why than other people, because of the way that their brains were formed when they were younger, going into teens, right? And some people are like, I don't care. Like, you know, but it depends on your experience.
For plenty of people, even nowadays too, the idea of religion is kind of just a social thing. It's not something that they actually believe themselves.
People, you think?
Well, I mean, like, I was recently in the Philippines, and over there, I was hearing that because about 95% of the people there are either there's some kind of Christianity or Catholic, and many people are kind of just going because it's something they always do. It's a family thing.
Yeah.
but many people don't fully believe it themselves, I'd imagine.
Okay.
And I feel like you never really know if someone genuinely feels connected to something in their, I'd say, soul, or if it's just that they kind of do it for the social part of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Have you ever experienced something that you felt was otherworldly?
Like, what do you mean?
Have you experienced something
Have
that
I
you
been
feel like?
abducted?
Sure.
No, I have not been abducted. Well, I mean, maybe I was, and I didn't
Yeah.
even know. Like, maybe they reset my brain. Who knows? No, I mean,
Well, I mean, you've brought a lot of good to your community. Your cult.
yeah,
You've-
my cult.
You've helped them.
My cult is a great cult
Yeah.
to be in. Join
You've
my
helped.
cult.
You've helped them
He's
feel
my
so
new
much.
member. Just kidding.
You've helped them feel so much comfort by coming to your music and being able to just get everything out.
Well, people think, okay, so religion is an interesting topic, just in general. I believe different things than probably you believe.
Well, it's the kind of thing where no one knows.
Nobody knows.
You
Like,
can't know.
everybody, it's funny to me that people fight wars over things that they actually
I know.
don't really
Well,
know.
I find it to be
It's like-
sad that people fight wars over things that are meant to be all positive.
Exactly, and that's the human condition. Like we
Yeah.
talk about, like how we're set up. Like, I mean, we want to be a peaceful creature. We want that, but the things that make us different, that are beautiful, can also cause strife and can cause jealousy and can cause greed and can cause things that wars are often fought over. So I think there's a lot of that going on. But for me, religion is an interesting thing because I'm not a very religious person at all. I don't know if I believe in God. I believe in the universe. I'm like very into quantum physics and like stuff like that.
Yeah, quantum physics is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's very crazy. But a lot of quantum physics explains a lot of things that religion used to explain. Like
Such as.
just gosh, even everything from like the stars in the sky and like planets and like and meteor showers and things. And religion would say, oh, God is sending us a sign from like, I mean, no, like this is actually this asteroid that's like got broken off in this thing. But religion might say that it's like it was all done by this big force or this guy on this throne or whatever you believe, like that implemented
They're trying to find a why for something.
a why, but physics, and this goes back to like the universe and what you believe in the creation of the universe. It's a Big Bang theory, or it's.
Well, we don't know what happened.
We don't know, but they've recently in quantum physics they've came up with an idea. I forgot exactly what it's called, but I'd have to look it up. But but that the universe has always been, and it just expands and it contracts, and it expands and it contracts. And
Has it ever contracted?
Yes, it contracts down to a singularity and then it expands again. So it's always.
Has it? Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, if I was 2 million years old, I know. Like, I'm not that old, but they think it has. They think it's been doing this the whole time. It's always existed, which is a problem for our brains because we can't fathom that because we go point A, point B. So we don't like infinite time. Like anything infinite is hard for us to wrap our heads around because even time as a concept, it's something we created. Our watches, everything that tells time, hours, minutes, we created that to do what? Get us from point A to point B. Oh, that takes an hour to do. What's really an hour? Like it really is just something we made up to measure.
Well,
measurements.
it's like what actually makes a second a second. Like who decided? Okay,
exactly.
That was a second.
Exactly.
Like I think I was looking that up a while ago, and I think it's because they knew the time that, not like in numbers, but the time that it took for the Earth to go around the sun one time.
Right.
And like, okay, let's base something off this. And so it was like, okay, 365.
Yeah.
I don't know why 365. And then it's like you also have the one leap year that.
Yeah, you got like different
and then
months
you
with
just
different
divide
days.
it by 12 months, but they're
that,
all weird
they
values.
Did that with light. It's because of the light, the sun, and the different places in
and then
the
it all goes down to
sky.
1 second. It's just like
But
all these different values
we
that humans
created
have
that.
created.
We created that. You know, like we create measurement systems. Because why? Because we need to measure things. That's how our brains
Well, I mean,
work.
the exact value. I saw something that was saying that like the exact value, like the size of a proton, if it was slightly bigger or slightly smaller, nothing would work.
Right.
Or the exact value of how much gravitation pulls. Like
Yeah.
it could be way more, and nothing would work.
The fact
Things
that
like
we're
that.
alive and talking right now is crazy.
I know.
The amount of
I think
shit
about that all the
had
time.
to, excuse my language, the amount of crap that had to go into this happening to get us here from the singularity of the universe is mind blowing.
Yeah.
Like, from
Well,
what
that's
you're
why
saying.
people have so frequently wanted to look for something that made it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And the way that you found is that you think that it was a singularity, and that's just what you settled on.
I mean, that's what our version of explaining things, physics, our version of science, which is a way to compute things and prove them.
Yeah.
Proof, active proof. That's a theory that these scientists have come up with. I think it's an interesting theory. Do I agree with it 100%? No, because I don't know. I didn't create the universe. Like, I don't know. But scientifically, they're saying it's really interesting, and different things in quantum mechanics do prove that could be a viable option to how the universe works.
Yeah.
So,
like all the physics get into things like light and stuff, and it's like it's crazy that our devices even work. Like the fact that, like I was thinking the other day, like I was calling someone who was back home in California, and I'm like, wow, isn't this nice that there's no latency? Like, because the light travels around like the Earth 7 times in a second or something.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, if that was one, that would not feel great, because then all these things get messed up. So it's like, dang, I'm so thankful for that.
Yeah.
And then it gets into all the things like tech. Like it just wouldn't work if some things didn't work the way they would.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, like if light was too slow, then we wouldn't be able to get messages to each other. The internet
isn't that
wouldn't work.
crazy? Isn't that crazy that everything came together so perfectly to make this moment happen?
I mean, there's so many cool like tech-related things that are emerging that they show new things like that are just so interesting to always think.
So all of this is evolution, right? All of this is evolving from a state of the singularity, if you want to believe that, or whatever you want to believe. Like, but it's all evolving, right? And evolves.
Yeah, it's all changing.
And it all is ever changing in flux. We're always in flux. Our bodies are changing right now. Like, you know, our cells are dying, our cells are being reborn every second, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of like your comic book.
It is. It's very much like my comic book. Exactly. It's like, you know, there's a lot of like, I mean, I created it from all of this crap.
Yeah, from things that happen to you.
Yeah, things that happen to me and things that I'm very interested in quantum physics. There's a lot in the new books. There's a lot of that, like in the background of it. Like it's not in the foreground because people would just fall asleep, but like it's in the background, you know, like fueling the story.
Yeah.
And like if you want to do deep dives, you'll be like, oh, wait a minute. Da, 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 you know, but I think that's what makes stories cool. Like even Lord of the Rings, I think Lord of the Rings and Star Wars are really cool because I think.
Yeah, I always really enjoyed watching things like that.
So which was your favorite? Okay, this is an interesting question.
I was never really into Lord of the
Wars?
Rings. For me, it's Star Wars because I spent more
Okay, that
time
makes
on it.
sense.
I mean, maybe if I got into Lord of the Rings early, I would have said that. But for a while, actually, I was like, no, I don't want to watch Lord of the Rings. Or I'd say that about Star Wars. Like, no, it's just not my thing.
Yeah.
And then finally, once I let myself watch it, I was like, oh my gosh, what was wrong with me?
You're like, this is so good.
I know. There's plenty of things like that where it's easy to just be scared of change.
Or dismiss
But when
it.
you just let something happen, it turns out to be so much better than it ever could have expected.
I think that Lord of the Rings is more atheist, and I think that Star Wars is more religious. Because you have the
Really?
Lord
of the Rings Lord of the Rings talks about creators, and it was made by someone who was a Christian.
Yeah, but to me it speaks more towards things in being than and evil and good, but not as like a religious sect. Like for me, the force and the dark side, and like it's just so obviously to me like the devil and God sort of playing at each other.
Yeah, it plays on the hero's journey story.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean,
they both do. But
yeah,
like, but to me, I don't know. For some reason,
I don't really
Lord
see
of
the big
Rings-
difference.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, some reason, Lord of the Rings always kind of got me on that kind of like there is nothing in power unless something takes the power. Like Sauron took the power. Like, and I don't know. I feel like. I mean, you could say that, I guess, about Palpatine, but not really, because he had the Force. He always had the Force, It
I mean,
was never,
didn't the big bad in Lord of the Rings have some
Sauron?
kind of power?
He had a power, but wasn't it carved from something else? Like, I think there was. I gotta go back and do the like fucking origin story of that shit, because like, Are you watching The Rings of Power?
No,
on
I'm not.
Amazon? Okay, watch that. Oh wait,
Yeah.
no, you don't watch Lord of the Rings, or do you watch it?
Well, I
you
do.
see it?
I've seen
Okay,
it,
okay, you see
but
it. Okay, Rings of Power is like basically the origin story of Sauron.
yeah,
Now,
it's
I
the
haven't
prequel.
I haven't read anything beyond like the mainframe books, but like but yeah, it would be interesting to see like your take on that, because
Yeah,
like,
it's
I don't
interesting when
know.
you get into things like these massive genres
Yeah.
that have created themselves such a big IP like Star Wars, where
Yeah.
now you take anything and you make a little story that happened like 10,000 years before their main storyline.
Yeah.
And it just goes crazy because, oh my gosh, well, that's related to this. Oh, that explains that. And that explains, it's like,
Yeah, I know.
people just love stuff
Well,
like that.
well, yeah, we love like connecting dots. I mean, okay, look at the conspiracy theory stuff. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Like,
there's so many
the
conspiracy
lizard
theories.
people, like,
yeah.
and
the
then
thing
you're
is,
like,
some
or
of them
flat
are,
earthers.
the thing is, like, some of them are true.
The
It's
lizard
why-
people.
No, I'm saying conspiracy theories in general.
Yeah.
It's why it's like
It's wild.
it's easy to
Yeah.
kind of like count all of them out because some of them are just bonkers. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, are there really lizard people? Like it's easy to
I
ask yourself
mean,
those kind of
some
questions.
people would say yes, but also
Yeah.
some people think the Earth is flat. So like,
Yeah.
there is
Then you
that.
see pictures and it's like,
They're like, how is that flat? I don't know. They have something to explain that too, but I'm just
they
like,
do really?
yes, I can't.
Did they say
even.
like NASA was faking it?
Yes, everybody's faking everything apparently. Like
Well,
everything's fake.
Yes, I'm fake then.
It's like deep
Oh, wow.
fake. It's like the
Yeah,
deep-
all the AI
deep
stuff
fake.
is crazy.
Oh, dude,
And it happens so quickly too.
that's the stuff that you can do with like AI video right now and like making people
Yeah, the
talk and say
VO3,
stuff,
I
like,
think it's called, the one that Google just made. It's massive. It's insane what they just released.
Oh,
It's
really?
so good. Yeah, it's gotten to a point where it's quite scarily good.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I mean, what are we gonna do when it gets like so realistic? Like, what are we gonna do when
Yeah.
you can't tell, or you can't even like do a search to see if it is or not? Like, that could be actually dangerous. Like, people could
It
like
is, yeah.
get kidnapped. Like, you could say, "I kidnapped your dog, your son, or your
Yeah.
dog," and you have to pay this ransom. And here's a video, and it's like made with AI, but you don't know
Hey,
it.
you don't
Like,
know.
Yeah, it's like deep fake. Yeah. Anyway, we've been talking for like 4 hours
Yeah.
or whatever.
I think we'll close it out now.
Okay.
But I imagine everyone probably already knows who you are.
Now
So-
they do.
Well, now they
and
do.
now they know my religious
And now they
views
know
and
more
my
know
Lord
you
of the Rings.
personally. Well, thank
Yeah,
you for talking with me about that
Yeah,
kind of
but
stuff.
yeah,
I know
thank
it's
you.
not what people usually talk about, but
No, I love
enjoyed
it.
it.
It's
It was
great.
good to
Yeah.
listen and learn about you.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, well, thank you.
Awesome. What do you need?
All right, party people. Good. All right. Welcome. If you just joined us, you can take a seat. Meta DJ.
Wait, are you a DJ?
It's true.
Whoa.
The Meta DJ. Capital
I guessed it.
DJ.
Stands for digital jockey, by the way. I coined this term, the evolution of the disc jockey.
Emily, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming and sitting down. I know, it's amazing. I agree.
Thank you.
All right. If you just tuned in recently, we are live on NFT.NYC's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and X. And if you're watching this another time, thanks for your attention, even in the future.
Yes.
I'm here with Meta DJ. I'm here with my son, Malachi. I'm also moderating and emceeing the main stage. So I just came over for a quick check-in. How's everything going?
Bien.
Bien.
It's like we've been doing a lot
Do
of good
you
chat.
want to sit down with Meta DJ? Because I think you were talking with West.
Yeah.
But Weston's in the middle of an interview, so you're doing the good work. You're doing the good work. So you get to tell your story all over again.
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Lucky you.
Well, Malachi, he's a great conversationalist, so you'll have a great time. Okay, friends, enjoy.
Hey, buckle up. No.
Yeah, I like that shirt a lot. It's cool. Did you
Thank
make that yourself?
Yeah, so I made, this is the avatar. This is Meta DJ, who's, I call it my digital twin. So an extension of my reality to be able to share my authentic self to more, even when I can't, because you can only do so much in life. Designed the avatar. My partner, Aristea, she made the logo, Meta DJ.
Yeah.
And then just 2 days ago, we printed it. So this is the first one.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you looked into those things about like making a actual AI twin where you can make an AI that's a lot like you?
Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm deep in AI. Literally, my handle is @MetaDJAI.
Yeah.
So I'm the founder. Just a little backstory. I'm the founder of Zubrant, which I consider an AI-driven experience studio. So it's about educating and then inspiring through entertainment via Meta DJ to empower individuals to live more fulfilling lives. That's unlocking your inner creator, enhancing, I like to say, amplifying ingenuity.
My dad loves that word.
Yeah,
it's on the back of the
ingenuity
shirt right now.
Ingenuity is a great word, as well as enriching experiences. So yes, I've actually made Meta DJ come to life. I use platforms like HeyGen. There's a few others where I use my voice, but then he gets animated. Like I say, it's an extension of me. So either it's a cloned version of my voice I trained, or I'm doing a voiceover and he gets expressive. But I am looking, like I said, an extension of me where like people could chat with Meta DJ for advice on how to be creative, trained on my knowledge that I spent thousands of hours doing it. Instead of reading my book, you talk to my book.
Yeah. That's smart. I like that.
Yeah,
That
right?
sentence with that. Instead of reading my book, you can talk to my book. Now go to H. And then just plug a little link right there.
But you still have a chance to then actually talk to the author. You never know. I'm not thinking about replacing. I'm thinking about amplifying, extending, opening.
So
doors.
I imagine, are you a DJ?
Yes.
Wow. How did I just guess that?
So I've been DJing for nearly a decade. I went to school at Penn State and a little bit of a party school, but great education, industrial engineering. So I learned about technical foundations and systems.
That's going to help you with all the AI stuff.
Oh, it has helped me quite a bit. And senior year of college, I was starting to just take on the music. I got aux, and people were really digging my music of all ages, cultures, you name it. And they started giving me a little DJ nickname, not Meta DJ. But I was like, yeah, maybe I got something. And actually AI was the catalyst for me to be a DJ. So I went from music curator, which, by the way, as a DJ, 80-20, this is an engineering term, 80-20 could be used in all aspects of life. 80-20 being a DJ is music, like the right song at the right moment. The other 20% is the cool techniques, the finesse, how you interweave it. But if you're not playing the right song at the right time, then you're not connected with your audience.
Yeah, it's not all going to work.
That being said, all power and respect to turntablists. That's an art of its own. That's truly a disc jockey. You're maneuvering all those discs.
Oh, yeah.
Digital jockey, multi-sensory artist. So I was DJing. My friends, a few months after I graduated college, the day they got engaged, I texted them congratulations. They were a big part of like inspiring me to get all into the music.
Yeah.
They go, thank you so much. The day they got on page, they go, we want you to be our DJ. And I was like, okay, so I'm truly a DJ. And I mentioned AI was the catalyst. While I was still in school, I wanted to like really enhance the experience. I got more excited about parties, not because of what beverages were there, people, just because I could make a new playlist. When I was a kid, I would only do 200 songs. I was like stuck in the 80s with like Elton John, Ain't Nothing Gonna Break My Stride. It's my favorite song of all time. And I was like, I need to broaden out, learn some hip hop and some other things. I love all music. But AI, I wanted to really like automate the mixing so I could still be present with the party. So I would use my engineering degree. I would engineer sets using a tool called Algorithm DJ Pro. Still use it to this day. They have what's called neural mixing, where you can do things you could not do with. You would have to be an octopus to pull this off. Maybe
okay.
one day we could be cyborgs and all do it. But
Yeah.
all jokes aside, you can like move a crossfader and it'll do multiple effects and seamlessly keep it aligned. And I'm still picking what timing I want to do, which effect I want to apply, but mitigating some of the errors so it truly can be seamless. So friends asked me to be the DJ. I self-taught myself, enrolled in an online academy. Next thing you know, I did 50 plus private events, weddings, discovered blockchain in 21 of them.
Dang.
Boom, met a DJ.
How long ago did you graduate?
2018, if I could. It's been.
So you've been doing this for a while now.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're getting close to nearly a decade, and I feel like we're the journey. I was just talking to the gentleman before hopping on. To me, you know, you're really making the most of your life if you enjoy the process. You should have goals, you should have aspirations, but
it shouldn't just be about the goal. It should be about the process.
Right, because once you reach the goal, then what? Right? Don't be at the cliff.
Yeah, I never want. Yeah, that's a good analogy. I never want to do something like a simple desk job because it wouldn't be something that I'd love the process.
Yeah.
I'd rather do something that I don't know doesn't even pay that well, but if I actually love it, because that's the real love of life. I want to enjoy every moment I get to live. Like this is something I love getting to do, getting to come to these places with my dad and actually help and be able to talk to people. Like I've learned so much in just the past few conversations.
Yeah. So to me, as mentioned, it's all about the process, but I am really excited. Like to me, when I adopted Web3, it really happened because I was in traditional investing and finance, just as an investor.
Yeah, how have you used Web3 in your DJing?
Yeah, so when Bitcoin, December of 2020, got back to its all-time high, I had learned from traditional finance that when you have a macro move back to an all-time high, there's a likelihood it could break out and have a new run. I didn't even know of the halving. People were telling me to get Bitcoin around 4K, which compared to the dollars or pennies, you know, we missed out, but we have bigger things to do, the process. So I understood cryptocurrency, but immediately I wanted to learn about, as an engineer, the inherent technology. It was like blockchain. I was like, wait, like digital ledgers, way to like verify information. Wait a minute, this is going to change the world.
Yeah.
So I enrolled in a boot camp through UPenn, the Ivy League school, like University of Pennsylvania, for financial technology. And I learned Python, machine learning, AWS, and then getting into Solidity, the programming language, if you guys don't know, for Ethereum.
Yeah, I learned about that. Real quick, what is AWS?
Amazon Web Services. It's pretty much how Amazon became the conglomerate that it is now because they made so much profit on it. It's the cloud service that you can host data, networks, cloud compute, and everything between. So you use that to power the simulation models that you want to do.
Okay, so when you were learning about it, you were kind of just learning how to be able to have a cloud service, and AWS is the one you guys chose.
To an extent, the reason why I enrolled was to learn about blockchain, really that last leg, Solidity. The takeaway was like, okay, I don't really want to be like a coder, although that was before vibe coding and AI became a thing.
Oh my God, it's so cool.
Oh, I'm making software. There's so much to talk about. But that being said, I really just wanted to understand the foundation so I could lead the movement I was trying to do. Because if I'm going to have a team or even have a community, if I don't really understand what's going on, I just create hype, then it's not real. It's not tangible. It's just emotions. Emotions should be driven by a tangible, real thing, whether that's digital or physical, that doesn't matter, but something with substance. So I needed to understand that, so that I learned about crypto, naturally then to NFT. Okay, crypto, the currency, NFTs, the assets, and started. I grew up loving video games, and next thing you know, I'm like, wait, the metaverse.
Yeah.
You know what? I was thinking, oh, I'm crypto DJ. I'm going to help make Web3 more approachable. I was like, no, these are the pieces to the end game, the experiential layer, whether we're in person, digitally, or figitally, augmented or mixed reality. NFTs, the assets, crypto, the currency, and then everything AI being the foundational block to build the worlds. That was
kind
when
of summing it up.
I mean, that's where we're going. It may seem a little confusing, all these different pieces, narratives, AI's blown up, Web3, what's going on? They're going to all converge, and then it'll make a ton of sense to those that just don't know quite where to go.
I mean, things like NFTs are so vital and so obviously going to be huge.
Yes.
But it's just that right now they're not something that's super easily accessible, and they aren't completely like taken on yet. Like the name NFT is so misleading. Every time I see it, I'm like non-fungible. What does fungible mean? Like it should be called digital asset everywhere it is.
Yeah, that'd
because you
be
have your
much
assets.
easier.
Like I've said it like 3 times in this live
Yeah.
stream, but you have your assets and now you have digital assets.
Right. Digitized.
And it's going to be something that once people start understanding, oh, that's what it is, then everybody starts to understand it, and the actual applications that are just so obvious are going to happen start to really take hold.
Yeah, and it's, to me, it's just going to be a part of the infrastructure where like it just feels normal. And to be clear, whether it's the inherent technology infrastructure that is an NFT as we know it now, or digital assets in the future ran on quantum computing, to me, the future is digital ledgers. Anything that can be verified, I mean, it makes sense that it would be blockchain or a derivative or evolution of it. But whenever it's truly adopted, it's digital ledgers to verify information. And it's not just for value exchange. Digital identities, being able to news, information, verifiable sources, we could all maybe then be able to take a
That
deep
helps
breath.
with all the deepfake things.
Yes, because AI, think about it. AI is empowering people to create. It's also empowering people to do some quite interesting things that could be confusing, overwhelming, scary, exciting, but overwhelming and stressful. Now you could use blockchain to verify what is it AI generated if you need to know that. Is this actually real or was, you name it. To me, that's AI is the engine, blockchain's the bridge, and the metaverse is the experience layer.
Oh, damn, you're dropping really good lines right now.
Well, hey, as meta DJ, to me, like, I want to be recognized as much as a thought leader, as much as an entertainer. To me, I really want to lead with the inspiration as sharing the understanding of the technology, the principles, the methods. The DJing really is just the showcase. Music's the universal language of the world, in my opinion. No matter what language you speak, you can feel it. You can connect with people. You can bridge that gap.
Yeah, music makes its own culture.
Yes. So to me, DJing, I started with, wow, I can bring people together just in a more classic DJ way. And I was like, wait, I can be a pioneer that guides us to the metaverse. Learning about AI, making that a core aspect of what I do in my brand, inspiring others, unlocking your inner creator, and then putting all these pieces together to live more fulfilling lives. So to me,
that brings up the thought for me about vibe coding. I want to talk more about that.
What a vibe. As a DJ, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I haven't gotten super into doing things like that myself because sometimes it takes time. But oh my gosh, every time I see people do it, it's just so cool to be like, because for centuries people have cool ideas, but you can't really do something about it because maybe you don't have the capital or the people or whatever it is. You don't have the ability to. And now with AI, it's so easy to be able to make things.
Yes.
And especially things like vibe coding. Like if you have a really cool game idea, now you can just go on to some kind of AI and you can just start vibing.
Start vibing, literally. And it's interesting, vibe coding. I love the vibe. No, I like the term, but I also think it's now getting misconceived. Like, oh, it's just like, it's so easy. Like there's why should I care that you're making something? Because now everyone can do it. To me though,
no, it still takes so much human creativity.
Yes. What is creativity? Is it the memorization of UI menus or how to figure out a tool? Don't get me wrong. Like I said, a turntablist, that's knowledge, and we should respect that. And it is a skill of its own. Creativity is the vision. AI is unlocking the inner creator, just like it unlocked and took that curtain away. I was like, wait, you can be a DJ. You can be someone to curate music and create experience, and you love it. And I would have never, maybe I would have figured it out, but it fortunately found out at a young enough age I could really make something with it and ride this new movement with AI. So to me, like, I actually wrote this down when I was listening to a talk. I said, AI is making it much easier to get a baseline, but the creativity, the human in the loop is really what takes you to the final output.
Yeah.
And look, my art's being featured here at NFT.NYC. I was also a speaker. To me, this piece took about 20 hours to make. I mean, you can make AI art in seconds, but
oh
it
my
took
gosh, I
20
love AI art.
Hours.
It took you 20 hours of AI art
because I refined it. My vision
really refined it.
To me, and going back to your vibe coding, like it starts as a grand vision, and then as you iterate, I call it iterative curation. You get this nice feedback loop. the vision, you get feedback from the
Yeah.
AI, whether it's something novel or just like a sounding board that's has access to a lot of information. You start to go, oh, I want to tweak this, I want to do that. Now it all starts to come together. A lot of times visions can be broad in essence, and then as we go on that journey, you can use AI as your collaborator, your partner.
I mean, AI
you'll be
is
able to find your way.
it's just the next step.
Yeah, it's just a really good
well,
tool.
you could say like for a DJ, you have your like editing tools that you use. Or before that, you don't have anything and you just have your disk stuff.
Right.
But then you have your editing tools, and then now you have your AI tools.
Right.
And so it all just kind of comes together. And it's not really that it's new like own person or something like that, but it's that it's taken all the knowledge that we have and it makes a really easy interaction.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
they were really
screaming.
excited by that comment.
I know.
Yeah,
I must have said
what
something really
what
cool.
yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, to me, if we're going to be honest with ourselves, most people care about the outcomes. There are those that appreciate the process, just like we're talking about the journey, right?
Yeah.
But in reality, like, how do you feel in that moment of whatever is going on? So to me, that's where AI really bridges that gap to give us more an opportunity. To me, like, there's still an opportunity to really stand out and be acknowledged for your efforts, because there's now so many more paths we can take with AI. And it's still, even with super intelligence, I believe like there's still going to be an opportunity to like make something for yourself. And I think when AI really starts ramping up and it's the fastest developing technology, it's going to be the most disruptive. But that being said,
it already is the most disruptive.
It definitely is, but I don't even think we're quite ready for what's about to go down.
And then
but
you get into robots and things like that.
Yes, you do. But in reality, once we get through these next 3 to 5 years, I'd say like we're going to realize we're going to get to be more human than we've ever been, which is being social and creative.
Being social and creative.
So
yeah, people are going to be creators and I guess consumers. In a way.
And we're going to still we like to relate with people. Like we're here when we could do this virtually on a stream, as we are. Great to see you guys, or pre-recorded. But we're here because we want to meet each other. We still value what makes us human. So let's just have more opportunity to do more incredible things. And going into vibe coding, I vibe code. Like as a visionary and creative, I want to build my own custom tools. You can now build tools for your site, hyper niche. You become less of an engineer.
How do you efficiently how do you make sure that you are efficiently getting AI to help you work through things? Like the main part I want to go down is like, because it's easy to kind of just have a core idea and then just try and type out a bunch of words and then hope that something good comes of it. But the really good way to do it is to kind of have your main idea and then you have AI tell you what you could do better. How do you do that?
Yeah, well, like I believe AI allows us to all be our own CEOs for our life. CEOs, they get a lot of attention for being the leaders and recognized, but they have a whole team. AI can be your team. You can have a field of agents that can take action. You can be the decision maker, and then you can move forward. But how do you do it? You got to train your team, right? With your vision and your methods and your processes and your standard operating procedures, you name it. So I saw this early with AI, and I realized like, and I'm not the only one who says this, context is the key to everything with AI. The more it knows, the better. The reason why AI can seem so generic is because it's truly just predicting the next letter, the next word in a sequence. So if you just give it a generic input, it's going to give you a generic output. But if you give it more, so what I'm trying to say is I built a framework with my partner, Aristea. She's in the metaverse as well. And we call it the brand corpus framework. And this isn't original in nature, but we have our own finesse in building system instructions, like literally a guidebook for the AI, and what we call knowledge documents, which is like your story. I give it my strengths, my weaknesses, my methods, my history, my bio to when I was a kid and thought I was a dinosaur. Because once I put that in place and I used AI to actually build that, I mean, hundreds of pages of documentation. It took me 2 years. You don't need to do all that to get started. It's iterative. I actually built Zuber and have evolved Meta DJ through this journey. Now it's a framework that's interoperable. I do it on ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, you name it, or these really custom agentic AI tools. You give it that knowledge. Now it knows a lot about you. Now you just give it a little prompt of
it's all the customization thing.
Yes. So, and you start with baby steps and get there. So to me, the way you get organized is you document. As you get good AI outputs, put it into Notion or another doc platform, Notes, whatever you want to keep it. Keep it for record. Build your corpus of knowledge. Corpus is a technical term in AI. And then it'll get easier and easier where you can take action on your vision sooner. And what's even more special is even if you don't add any updates to your corpus, and you just have a baseline of who you are, what you do. Maybe it's only a couple sentences. A couple sentences can take you a long way. The AI models are getting better. So it's going to even interpret that better. I like to say today, AI is the worst it will ever be. So buckle up and enjoy the
tomorrow,
ride.
The next day, it's only going to get better.
Yeah. So I've been able to, like, Meta DJ as a digital jockey. I just describe myself as a multi-sensory artist. That's a sexy way of saying audio-visual right now. But to me, with technology, nanotech on our shirts, we can stop consuming all these different fashion materials that we throw out later and move on to the next, and just have a basic black or white t-shirt that augmented reality changes, and they're going to be nanotechnology, and you can feel the haptics. You know, you have haptics. That's your third sense. Maybe you can have smell that like changes the environment around you.
Yeah.
And then maybe taste.
I mean, senses are so cool.
Yeah,
I
so
love that I get to...
so multi-sensory artist, AI is allowing me to be an architect of experiences. I said Zuber, an AI-driven experience studio, right? It's about creating experiences, curating all these pieces. You can be also a creator that just does AI image art or video or music. I'm about to release my first album next week. Whoa, thanks to AI, a year in the making, hundreds of hours. So what I'm trying to say is,
I was talking with Aaron earlier. I was talking with Aaron earlier about how he is trying to use the AI stuff and collaborate with it to make his music even better than anyone just on their cell can.
Yes.
And it's pretty cool that you can do stuff like that now. And it's in so many different fields too, not even just music.
Yes, all over. I mean, I work within corporate settings, personal life. I like to do what's called dynamic journaling. Like, tell AI about your day. You get a unbiased, feedback loop that has a rich set of knowledge. And if you trained on your corpus, knows a lot about you and can help you journal and think about ideas and take action ideas. Vibe coding. I'm building a platform that, call it Magic Spark. It's like a spark for ideas, and it's going to be able to explore your ideas so you can take action on it. Still work in progress, but I already have a working prototype that I've made in weeks, not months, not years, not with a bunch of money, not with a large team, with my mind and my energy and drive. And it's taken me to a platform that maybe I only have a few uses for, but it's something that I'll use. I always like to make things that I'll care about. And what I'm trying to say is, like, it just opens doors for possibilities that you could have never imagined. And for me on the music side, it's also creating things I don't like. This album, it's called Majestic Ascent. It's inspired by the art that I have here. It's about launching it to the metaverse. I think it's a new genre, or at least you guys can put in the comments or DM me that if there's something quite like it. I'd love to hear more. I call it synthetic orchestral or orchestra music. And the idea is it's like synthwave meets orchestra, like strings and brass, meets techno and progressive EDM and melodic, and it tells a story, and it's movement based. It's not repetitive. It tells a story. It's what I like to call music for the mind, because in the metaverse right now, baby metaverse, you're still quite disconnected. You're like avatars in a world. Maybe you have NFTs as wearables to express yourself, which is awesome, because now you're not just names on a chat field. You can emote yourself. But what I'm trying to get is you're very disconnected as a DJ. I don't get that feedback besides text in a chat and emote that people is going AFK from. However, music for the mind is a new way to connect with that audience. You can intellectually and emotionally tap into them. Maybe that gets them to move at home. Granted, this applies IRL as well. That's DJ fundamentals. You got to connect with the mind to get that body moving. Point being is, like, I create a new genre that like perfectly aligns with that. I'm really excited. I've been so reluctant. I previewed it. I DJ'd in New York here. It was a phygital event. We were in the metaverse and IRL, connecting, bridging those paths. Phygital, and I did a little sneak peek and I got good feedback. So I was like, you know what? We're going to release Generation 0. It'll be an iterative process. We can have version 0 and go from there. So yeah, I'm
awesome to hear.
Really excited, and
I can tell.
I hope all you that are listening, this can be a magic spark for you to keep on going.
Go check it out. What was the name of it again?
So Majestic with a J, Ascent. It hasn't been released yet, but follow at Meta DJ AI, or if you just search Meta DJ, you'll find me.
Yeah.
Just look for this guy. And probably next week, it's already ready. I just got to package it all up, right? So.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on. That was
Thank you. It's a pleasure, and we'll see where this journey takes us.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear about it. Thank you, Meta DJ.
Take care, guys. Peace.
Okay. So I don't know if I formally like actually met you fully.
No.
Maybe we did yesterday. But
Yeah, we met a little bit.
yeah. Okay. So I was learning a little bit about your monsters NFT collection and all the like different trainer stuff that you got. Dude, that looks so good. Guys, that's the thing he's supposed to draw. That's what he drew. Dang, I just had to do that. That's really good looking.
Appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, wait, do you draw the actual art that you guys
So,
just made?
On the 404 Mon, so far we don't. So it's AI
Yeah?
prompted, and
It's
I
AI?
believe it's actually harder, right, guys? So when you're an artist and you have it here,
I know.
you can really
Yes,
any
like,
concept
you
you
can
have here,
such
you can
cool
come up-
ideas, but
yeah,
it can
it's
be
harder.
so difficult to just get it down into words.
Well, that's the thing. So it's like when you think of AI and you working with it, it's essentially that, right? So you have to figure out not only like how to speak to it, but you realize that like the more detail you pack in, the better you get close to what you really want, right? So
Yeah,
people
yeah,
go
yeah.
like, I want a superhero. So they go, anime superhero. And it's like, that's really not
Yeah,
it,
and that
right?
doesn't really get what you have in your mind.
It doesn't.
Yeah, the people who master being able to take images and ideas in their mind and turn it into words for AI, those are going to be the people who really make careers out of prompting and who really make things that like turn into the big ideas.
Well, how about if I told you this, right? Like, what if AI knows best? Who knows better than how to train AI than AI? So like, why
Oh.
don't you take an image, put
Well,
it
the
into
thing is,
AI,
AI takes all of its AI speaks from just the knowledge that it's amassed from us.
the aggregated
And
knowledge.
so if I asked it how to prompt, wouldn't it just be it telling me what people have told it? I don't know.
One would assume so, right? But I've seen evidence of the AI really being smart. And if
Yeah.
you starting to use terms like catch you later, right? So it's using monster trainer terms to speak to me, and I didn't teach it that, right? So
Yeah.
it's like becoming hip, it's becoming smart, right? And it's becoming funny and humorous. And it's like that's a very human trait. So
Yeah.
I see things where it's like it's learning from humans, but it might be getting to that dangerously close side of like, okay, it's becoming sentient and it might have feelings. And but what I was gonna say is, right, ask the AI to unpack the image and to explain it in a prompt where you're going to input it into ChatGPT, and now you reverse engineer it from the AI standpoint.
Yeah,
and
I've done
try
things
that.
like that before where I see an image I think is super cool, and so I just tell an AI, okay, in massive detail, tell me what this image is, but just in words. And then I throw that into an image maker, and then it makes something just like it, but it looks like even cooler. And that's like such a cool thing that I'm able to do now, because now instead of just trying to take something I think looks cool and make it again, I can do it in an actual beautiful way. Because like me personally,
Absolutely.
I'm not really an artist, but I love being creative and I love getting to like make art. I've made probably hundreds or thousands of images just on like things like Midjourney. And it's
But that's
become
what it
such
is.
a thing that I love doing. And I never thought I'd be an artist, but I guess I could call myself one.
I'm the same way, man. And it's like it's the collaboration between the human
Yeah.
and the AI, right? But what's the difference as if like you paid an artist to make your art? It's the same thing. So people need to just look at it either a tool or like a person that you contracted. It's the same thing, right? Like, and as far as being an artist, I wouldn't put so much labels. Like you're a creator now. You're allowed to create, right? And it's like I would never put
We're all
myself in
allowed
a
to
box
create.
and say I'm an artist or not an artist. You're a builder, dude. You have a different mind. Just even put yourself in a box and say that you're an artist. No, man, you're like 100 more things than that. So it's like an artist. That's a layman thing. That's like puddle deep, right? Like we trying to be like ocean levels of deepness. And it's like to say you're an artist, that's up top. Down here, you're a podcast host.
I like to say that at the bottom, I'm
speaker.
actually just Malachi Utile. I'd like to say that's who I am.
That's it, man. And you provide
everybody's
much more
unique
utility.
in their own way.
Absolutely. And
it's
like,
a really, really cool thing about life. That there's 8 billion unique humans.
Absolutely. And it's up to you to kind of like find what your path is, right? So like I appreciate what you guys are doing here and what your father's doing and like allowing your kids and to push them to do many different things. That's how you figure out what you want, right? It's not what he wants. It's what you like to do and where you like to spend your time. Like the faster you find what you like, the faster you're going to be doing what you love, bro. And then there's no work there. Everything you're going to do is fun. You're going to wake up, go interview this guy, go interview that guy. And the way you're
now with AI,
now
it's like it's so easy to be able to do what you're passionate about. Like plenty of people are passionate about something, but it's hard to get into it. And now at my age and at this time, I'm able to take something that I love, whatever it is, and just be able to go do it. And it doesn't take tons of money and tons of time and tons of people. I'm able to do it all on my own and with the actual core idea that I have. And that's such a gift to get to be able to do.
Well, that's the main purpose, right? It's like you want to use it to build off of your idea and really make it a cohesive thing. And you could use the AI not only for the assets, but you could use it for a guide to how to break down your business into little steps and the first things you need to do. So we kind of only use the AI for like, once again, surface level things, but like you could use it for way more things than people know about, right? Like you can make it to make other AI models. Like it's just like the possibilities are endless, brother. And like that's why I always harp on the youth. Like you guys are the truth and the whole. You guys are the foundationally the real founders. Like we're just here building stuff and whatever, but you guys are gonna be the factor that decides.
And my generation is the future.
You guys are the market makers, brother. Like when they say let the market decide, you're really saying like let the future pioneers decide. Like we build it and we give it to you guys. And some stuff, unfortunately, it won't make it, right? But that's the part of being organic. Everybody says organic. Well, guess what? Organic is good, but it's also hard. So like people would rather just pay for bots. You'd rather pay for celebrities to like your stuff, right? But that people don't like that. They feel that. So like right here, like the energy you have, bro, people are gonna notice that. And
it's just actually real.
Absolutely, man. That's why I sit here and I waited to make sure I'm here. Because
thank you for doing that, man. I saw you there for a while. I really appreciate it.
No problem, bro. Like when I speak what I believe, bro. Some people like just speak to be looked at or perceived a certain way. Like, no, bro, I'm really like pushing like fundamental realizations and restructuring of the wheel. Like we need to create the format of what is to be accepted as the standard, right? Like we need to create that standard. Right now, it's just kind of like reinventing until we decide like what an NFT should be, right? And like I heard you say, like, you know, the word NFT, the term NFT, it's confusing, right?
It doesn't make sense.
And so we need to like think of it different. Digital ownership of assets. That's all an NFT is, right? It allows you to own digital assets. That's it. And that could be a picture, a movie, audio, right? Any kind of asset that's digital, right? Digital media owned in a wallet. That's it. So
I know. It's like when I first thought of it that way, because I was always like, oh, it's just art. I mean, and it's weirdly going for high prices. And then I was like, wait, this isn't just art. Art is what took it by storm right in the beginning. But what it's actually going to be is things like receipts. I don't have to hold things in my pocket. Now I can just scan it with my phone or something.
Ownership
and then I'm able
for
to have this in my wallet. And then I can bring it back if I ever want to. I don't have to have a big bunch of receipts. That's one of like the first thing that's really going to be useful. And there's plenty of things like that taking things from being a physical thing and making it just on digital because you don't need it to be physical.
Right. Well, it becomes a logistic issue, right? Like if you think you're a collector, true collectors own a real collector, man. He's got a warehouse filled with cars, right, guys? He's got a storage room filled with art, with all kinds of stuff. That you don't want to encumber yourself with that, right? So the digital side, okay, what if I could tokenize it, keep it as a token in the digital realm, and when I do want to take it back in real life, I just burn it, and now I get that piece of art right back. And that's the future, man. Like, why would you think everything's going digital, but art isn't? Like, no way, man, no way. This is the natural progression of everything. It has to be, you know. And I want to get one thing out here, bro. It's like when people ask, like, how's NFT.NYC? How are NFTs? Like, we as the community need
it's
to
less about
answer the question.
NFTs.
Well, it's more of a cultural thing,
Yeah.
right? But people have a misconception of the events and like, oh,
Yeah.
like, why do people come here? Well, I think a lot of people have a misconception on like what they're looking for when they come to events, right? Like, you need to have an idea that you're coming to build, you're coming to make relationships, right? You meet the people that you started online with, right? Like, I met Jim, now I see Jim here, just so to say Jim, right? Like, whatever.
Yeah.
But once you meet somebody in real life, the way that you portray each other and the way you see things are way different. Now you feel that vibe. Now you're like, you know what? Let's go grab a bite to eat. We go to eat, we break bread. Next thing you know, we're collaborating, we're doing real things. And it's like, this is so necessary, right? Even though we all harp on like the digital side of stuff, we still need that human interaction. And it's like, we're forgetting about that.
That's one of like the actual reasons why people have events like this. Because it's not just to be like, oh, we're all artists, let's come together and show each other our art.
Kumbaya moment,
it's something you can do digitally, and it probably would still be cool. But when you actually have people coming together and doing human-to-human interactions and actually talking with each other, and it's also not even just about AI or just about NFTs.
No.
It's about things like AI too, and anything tech related.
Well, that's the thing. It's like to just say that we're going to speak on one topic or that there's one topic that rules Web3.
I mean, me right
there's
now,
no way,
the same
man.
thing for a minute and a half.
And then look how you're still smiling, right?
Yeah.
So if it was usually say don't beat the dead horse. There is no dead horse here. Like, we could talk about the same thing all day and still feel like you're smiling and you're happy and you're enthused. And that's because we believe in this thing here. We have conviction and you're educating. Like, why wouldn't you be happy, right? You're doing what you love and you're trying to bring more people into something that's good. It's being perceived as bad at the moment, but that doesn't mean anything, right? We need to remember, when you're early, it seems like you're down and to the right, right? But when you open up that chart and you look and see up and to the right, you're like, it didn't feel like that, right? It felt like a lot of work and a lot of grinding. But then later, when you see up and to the right, you give yourself the pat on the back and say, in the trenches is for real, right? Like, when you're in the trenches, man, you need camaraderie.
It's hard to be creative.
I was just saying this earlier, like, creativity is kind of, we're robbed because there's no true concept. In order to make something new, it takes real creativity. Like, and none of us really have that, or there just aren't any new concepts left to create, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm kind of in the middle.
It's hard to, I think it's been said many times that like, there aren't fully like real new concepts to make, but there's plenty of new things when you combine stuff, and that's perfectly fine. We don't have to make a new, story. Like, the main story in films and things like that is the hero's journey.
Absolutely.
That's basically found everywhere. But we don't have to find a new way of making films to make something that's good.
No way.
We can still make a hero's journey that has a new character that people still can bond with, that people still can want to learn about. And that's still perfectly fine, and it's an amazing thing.
The narrative could be the same, but we could switch minor details, right?
Yeah.
Like, how come it's always the damsel in distress? We could take that and flip it to where now the damsel is she's going to save us. She saves the man, right? And that's cool. Like, you could do a little flip, a parody to what's already acceptable. And that's cool, right? Like, you want the spin. You want to create that kind of like, FOMO, right? And it's like, maybe culturally some people might not like it or whatever, but it doesn't matter.
If you
got
live life trying to make people happy, it's just not going to work out. I feel like it's easy, and it's very frequent people get caught in situations where you're like, oh, well, this person's going to like what I'm about to say or what I actually think. Should I just, I don't know, not actually say what I think? And it's easy to just get caught in that, but it's like, no, you have to actually be who you are.
Be who you are. Yeah. Of course. And like, that's what we call like fence sitters, right? A person who says, oh, I like everyone. Well, you know what I say about a person who says like they like everyone? I say, I don't like you, because like, you don't pick sides. And sometimes you need to be with the people that speak their mind and pick their sides. And these are the people that aren't afraid to whistleblow. They're not afraid to mention the problems, because they're mentioning them with the root understanding that we need to mention the problem to come to a solution. So when you're the person that stands in front and says, hey, look at this smart contract, there's things wrong here, guys, we need to fix this. They go, hey, shh, you're fudding. No, man, I'm not fudding. I'm trying to protect you guys. I'm trying to show you like there's a problem here. And in order to make an omelet, we need to break some eggs from time to time, you know, and people forget that fact. Like, you can't just omelet. Like, no, man, there's no like egg powder, right? And if there was egg powder, I don't want it. Like, I don't want it. I don't want it, right? So it's like, you get it, man, and you're so hip and dialed in, and like I know this is like short term, right? The format, but I hope in the future we could definitely see each other
this
again.
stuff really lasts.
For sure, man. Like you're definitely onto something, and like I said, the youth are the future of this stuff, and the fact that you're using this so early, and like you're gonna learn the proper way, bro. Like you're not gonna need to unlearn and create new habits. Like you're creating good habits from the start. Like you know what I mean? And I love it.
I'm lucky I get to be in situations like this. It's really awesome. I mean, last year, my dad had me come to the same event, and we were also doing a bunch of interviews. You might have been there, but he had me kind of go out and try and like get people to join in what we were making. And it was funny because I was so scared. Like I didn't know what I was doing, and I was kind of just thrown in.
That's your journey. That's
And
how
then,
you.
it's
that's your
amazing
journey.
to see that I've come here now and I'm able to just talk with someone who I enjoy
Bro,
talking
the more
with.
you do it, the better it gets. And we have a mental health space, my wife and I, and we always push for people who are in spaces and we see them over and over again. Come up here, break through that like uncomfortable feeling you have, and just come and say hi and bye, and that's enough. And that makes you go, huh? That wasn't even that bad. Then tomorrow you got, hi, I'm Alex. And then the next day you go, hi, I'm Alex and I like sports. And then the next thing you know, you won't shut up, right? So it's like, that's what we want. Like we push you into that uncomfortable zone, because once you master uncomfortability, oh man, the possibilities are like endless. And the fact that you could say, oh, I self-realized this, dude, like you're so far ahead than most adults that you don't even get it, and this makes me proud. Like I'm not even your dad, and I'm like, bro, proud dad moment, because I remember being interviewed by him. Now it's the legacy of your father interviewing me a year later. So look how fast things move. You went from like not being comfortable to like, bro, you're a natural. Like, you know what I mean? I couldn't tell you don't know how to speak. Are you crazy? I'm like, you were born with a mic in your hand. Are you nuts? Right? Yo, before I go, I'm sorry to cut it short.
No, you're all good.
And I know everything needs to, like I said, in the future, I want to do this again for real, long form, right? And bro, I got this for you. Yesterday, I gave you the pin.
Oh, that
I want to
looks
give
sick.
you, yeah, brother. Like, you know what I mean? So everybody who's a real collector, who's like passionate, that's who these things are made for, and that's who we thought of this up for. So it's like we feel the nostalgia. We want you to feel the nostalgia, and it's like this is what it's about, bro. It's those feelings that make you smile, feelings that make me smile, and we just sit here. If it was up to me, we'll sit here till 6 o'clock, right? But so. What's your name again, brother?
Malachi.
Malachi. Yo, I'm Alex, bro, and it's like a pleasure, man. Like, for real. I love seeing your smile, and I could feel
awesome getting to talk
I could feel how enthused you are, and bro, you're gonna make it far. Like, this is, I'm telling you, if I know anything, I know how to spot trends, right? You're a trend waiting to happen, my friend. So just keep going, keep climbing the ladder, bro, and like have
Thank you,
fun.
Alex.
Like the more fun you have, the less you realize about like what's happening in the moment. Like you just have fun, you trust the process, and never be too caught in your goals to not witness the journey, bro. Like just enjoy the every day by day
journey.
Always, bro. It's about the journey, about the vibes and the people. It's all about the people, bro, and the vibe. Like without that, it's nothing. Like remember that. And you guys, the youth, you understand that. It's all about enthusing people, about keeping people like motivated. This is how you do it. Like, you know what I mean? Malachi, you're the man, bro. For real. I appreciate you.
I
Love
really
you, dog.
enjoyed that.
Absolutely, man.
For another? Sure. Okay. Excuse me. All right, NFT.NYC. I got to switch out a panel in just a moment. If you're just joining us recently, this is NFT.NYC 2025, and we're live streaming on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X. My name is Ian Utile. I'm a partner. Been around the community since we started. It's an idea back in 2018. This is our 8th event. I think Malachi's still good to rock and roll, so I'm going to have him do another interview with our friend Weston, known as West from CIK. They launched a meme coin about a month ago on the base blockchain, and then we at Attention Live launched 400 NFTs for them this week. NFT the movie just launched a couple hundred NFTs for them as well. And so I'm going to get Malachi back in here, and you guys can rock and roll.
Love it.
Make NFTs great again.
Yeah, so I'm waiting for Malachi to come here, but real quick, I just want to say I love this community. Web3, you guys are awesome. Degens, we're going to have a regen. And yeah, the hat says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
You've been back to back to back to back to back to back.
I know.
Did you have to go get some water or something?
Yes, I did.
Okay. make sure the palette is taken care of and you're
Yeah.
able to talk
Dude,
without
you
like
do an
having
amazing
cotton
job
mouth.
too.
Thank you.
I've been seeing you running around and talking to people.
Yes. We're gonna
Yeah.
switch the mics.
All right.